Okay, so I'm trying to resize it, but I can't. I mean, yeah, we can do this, I'm gonna resize it, and like right around there. Yes. Yeah, I can. Okay. Well, we are currently live, and all of that. The voice is not there. I forgot. Wait. Let me adjust that. There we go.
We'll try our best, that's for damn sure. There was quite a bit going on in that show match. Welcoming back, we got Leo, relax. We got our boy Jack on the very end. Leo, we always love these show matches, don't we? What's your takeaway? What do you take away from a game like that?
I feel like the show matches are amazing because it's the only thing NA can win.
That was so true.
Major champions are.
Yeah, I mean, are you confused?
But where
Until EU actually wins it, you can't really be saying stuff like that because NA still holds the title as of right now.
Yeah, true, I guess.
Alright, maybe that's true, but all I want to say is that Kitty.
Yeah,
Kitty
true,
Bravo
I guess.
That's another French dominating the scene, you know?
Yeah, Athenian.
Yeah, true, I
No,
guess.
but neither of them were the star of the show. Dev 3 got a 4K with a shotgun.
Wow.
That was incredible for me.
At least
was
we know the
impressed
devs
by
are
that.
playing the game.
Exactly. Proves that they can dunk on anybody.
That's fair.
Anyone else final comments? Do you have any more trash talk before
America's
we go?
on top.
No, it's
That's it.
not. No, it's not.
Keep-
Where are they?
That's the only thing you're
Keep
winning.
a hold on that one.
We're
There's the
in,
grand finals.
we're in North America. That's the only thing we can give to you right now. But it is time for us to go to a short break. You don't want to miss what's on the other side. The reveal panel. will be just
Yes,
after
of
this.
course. You don't want to miss it. If no one's gonna join the stream, I can understand that. Like, these are my ads. This is what I get. Oh my god. Like, they always have so many ads in just one segment, which is annoying. Like, there's a lot of losers currently watching the trailer on YouTube, which is crazy. Or a reveal panel, I guess, on YouTube. They don't know that you can have things known as Twitch drops, which is oopsie. Like, this is what the people are currently missing out on by watching on YouTube. Like weapon skins and charms. Like, this is what they're missing out on. So that's why I'm not gonna just watch the reveal panel and then screw away. No. I'm actually gonna watch the final, W7M against BDS. I submitted my own predictions. Yeah, finals predictions end in 75 or 57 minutes, so that's like 57 minutes until we start the match. Anyway, the play-ins I messed up there, sure. In the playoffs I actually did really terrible. Not gonna lie. But then in the finals I kinda understood what the teams were going for and such things. So I got all the quarterfinals predictions correct except the Falcons against VP. And then semifinals I got FaZe Clan because I thought FaZe Clan was gonna win, but no, BDS won. And then right here I predicted W7M, which is correct. So now we have W7M against BDS to win the trophy, and of course there's a prize on stake as well. There's like, we can actually see it right now. It's $217,000 US for the first place, at least. So yeah, pretty awesome. Oh, I cannot wait, man. Like, I seriously cannot wait until the reveal panel. Because there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna get. Just like previous season, or previous year. Year 8 season 4. The last season of year 8, we got a lot of cool stuff. Okay, it's currently, for me at least, it's 9:50. So it's like 10 minutes left. They're gonna do some pretty cool stuff in this meantime, or in the meantime. So yeah, أنا مرة متحمس عشان أشوف الكشف عن هذا السيزون. We can see some of the people's opinions. You know, this is the stupid advertising sort of thing, but we can see their opinions. رأيهم على اللي صاير. في اللي يقول هو بس رجع. خليك كذا عشان ما بيغطي شاشة الكون.
panel is coming up very shortly, but before we get there, teasing that grand final. This one is a big one. BDS taking on W7M. Storylines galore. It's rich. The history from both of these organizations are incredible because these gentlemen are incredible. All of you have your history in this game, and specifically when we get to these kind of matches, this is where we really get to enrich in your knowledge and your thoughts. Leo, how are we feeling about the overarching theme of this match?
You know what? I feel like from playing against these guys, speaking of BDS, they're like I just hated it. Like I have to say, like playing against Prime Shaiko, it was so hard. Every time you play against these guys, like there's nothing you could do. You think about Brede, it's the same story. W7M on the other hand, I feel like they're more of a unit, more of a strategic mind to it. You know, it's going to be entertaining. I'm just hoping we don't get the same result of their AWC final.
You know, I beat BDS, and I can say they were hard to beat, to say the least. And then for W7, I never really got to experience them, but just watching both these teams play, it's truly an experience for me, being, you know, a historic player for so long and now being on this talent. I mean, I love seeing the vibrance that both these teams can bring to the talent of both these rosters. I mean, it's truly extraordinary to be in this situation right now.
And these 10 guys here are creating history.
Yep.
They are the first 2 teams that have contested an S-tier event back-to-back. Esports World
Oh,
Cup,
well,
they played
very
against each other,
good.
of course. BDS won that 3-0. And their next S-tier event, we're at the Major in Montreal, just what, 3-4 months later, and they're back here in the final again. They're starting history as the only teams to have ever done that.
The caliber of players, the caliber of teams that we have coming up in this matchup, there's no contest at the moment. But how do we feel like they've gone internationally over the last 12 months, Leo?
Well, you know, it's been domination, I feel like.
Okay.
I feel like BDS always, you know, always there. They should have won Manchester, in my opinion.
Yeah, I honestly think that
W7M
W7M is gonna win.
That's
Easy
That's
fluke
an
now.
ins-
On the
yeah,
day, Beast Coast
that's
were
an-
far better.
Listen,
Absolutely.
Beast Coast was not there at WC. They are not here now. BDS is the better team in the long run. If you look at W7M,
Sure,
they
I
were
like
there.
that.
They were there at the WC. They were also incredible international. So you're looking at the teams, the 2 teams that have been the most consistent at the top level, now fighting for a major title.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And like you said, history
Yep.
is being made here already. The fact that we
إنه الحين قاعد يتسجل التاريخ وكذا يقول
possibly see whether, you know, BDS is going to walk away with it here or W7M can conquer them and
وإنه
actually get their first
وإنه
title
راح نشوف
as a
هل
unit.
بي دي اس
I
راح
actually like the psychology of it as well.
يسيطرون على
The psychology of it is that
هاتسوفي
BDS
ولا لا؟
absolutely owned W7M in a final previously, but at this event, W7M have got the revenge on BDS.
Yeah.
So both teams have, you know, they've got recent wins in their mind against their opponents.
The thing is, do you count the best of one as like a true testament, especially going 8-7?
I think it was just proof. It was just proof that W7M can beat BDS.
أحسن سواليفكم ها وخمس دقائق على ذا.
All we would be saying is BDS owns them, but the fact they've beaten them already allows that in their mind.
Now, in terms of the GOAT discussion, because we're getting a little lax here, we're just enjoying this. Where do we rank Shaiko in this? How far up that ranking with their history and now the presence? Where does he sit for you, Leo?
I feel like he's missing trophies to even contest with Pengu. I think Pengu will always be up there.
Yeah.
But as much as we go into the years, if Shaiko can then build his own dynasty with BDS, it's already quite late in his career. I've got to say, Pengu started when he was 18 and he started gaining titles there.
Yeah.
But if he can go with BDS and start winning so many S-tier events, that will be for sure a contention for the title.
I think just at individual prowess and
Like we can go on
brings to the
YouTube
table and
right
what he
here. I know this is
consistently
unrelated,
brings,
but
that's more impressive to me than
there
anything
is,
that he's been
uh,
going for as long as he have, and he
see,
still
that's
puts up
not
those
the one
numbers
we're looking for.
consistently across the board. That's
the
truly
Beetle
what makes him
panel,
a
yeah.
player.
Speaking of Shaiko, we did have an interesting
There's
tweet
like,
come from him on X. Do we call it a tweet anymore? What do we call it?
1,558 people.
How do you Jack, what are your
Jeez.
thoughts?
Yeah, he said
1,000 people. All of them are
missing
missing on, and of course there's the thing that we saw anyway.
To his opponents, W7M,
We'll close
saying
it.
that he's going to win the major after he won EWC right against them. Whoever taught Shaiko English and developed this character arc
Bro.
has created an absolute monster.
She good
I was about to
lord.
say, it's crazy to see him threshold now because we used to not see that from him, but he's been on a run on Twitter like the past 6 months.
I was gonna say he's been on his villain
Yes,
arc.
he
Yeah.
could
As
go
long
make
as I've
cheap
known
with it.
Shaiko, I barely have seen him
Ah,
talk.
بقى بعد
I've seen him
قوي.
smile here. I've seen him talk the talk on Twitter. So he's
تعال
definitely
خلينا نتكلموا شوي عن السيزون الجاي ذا.
functions as a whole.
Well, we do have the teams getting
درينا إنه المباراة هذه بتكون
that I think I'm excited
ذا.
about a little more. We've got the Year 9 Season 4 reveal panel
أيوه.
coming up. Now,
Coming
we've
up.
seen the advertisement, we've seen the trailers. what is the thought on Blackbeard? Are we going to see you back?
Like
Dude,
you.
that was so long ago, but I did love Blackbeard, to be completely honest. So it's a possibility, and it looks like, I mean, he looks completely different outside of just his character model. That's to say the least.
صراحة كنت
it
تخيل.
was from the trailer I saw. I feel like it's like the only operator in the game that would have like an AR and a shield at the same time. I don't know how that's gonna work, but that's super. Seeing the shields right now, especially, that's crazy to me.
I think Blackbeard is a very interesting character, a very interesting operator to try and balance.
يقول إنه
the
هالشخصية
you know,
يحسها
having a face shield
مثير
in the
للجدل.
current iteration is either been way too strong upon release or way too weak as we've seen recently. So I'm very much looking
كانت
forward
مرة
to
قوية بعدين
Looking forward to
ضعفوها.
seeing that, but also other things. Jack, what's your hopes for this panel? What are you looking forward to potentially changing if it does?
I mean, look, I would say I'm a super user of this game. I play so much ranked. Like, I absolutely
You have a
love
Discord committed for that.
it. Yeah, I have a Discord committed just for ranked.
I get notifications every day.
Every day,
So do I.
every single day. Do you want to play ranked? Do you want to play ranked? The one big topic in ranked right now is shields.
Yep.
So I hope shields do get addressed and that we can have a little bit more balanced
أكيد.
gameplay with regards to that.
Leo?
To be
I
an
feel
open
like for
battle.
me, because I never answer his notifications, that's because sometimes I try to just solo queue. And my experience as a solo queue player in rank is it can be frustrating sometimes to face a 5-stack. I know we've been speaking about like having multiple letters or queue systems. I don't know what's being worked on, but like that would be my like on my wish list to see how solo queue players can have a fair game matchmaking.
Not
Yeah,
saying
no,
that. I
no.
mean, that's something
Gotcha.
for me, even that just being able to do that. But I think back in Brazil, they talked about like a cross play or something like that, being able to bring Xbox to PC, PlayStation, whatever it is. That's something that's kind of unique for me to be able to go back that far to now bring them all together. So I'm really hoping that this is in this family.
Jack, what do you think the esports community is?
مو بقى
Do you think it is that
دقيقة.
shield rework?
I think so because it's dominating the way that esports is played right now because either the esports are banned and there's no strategy at the esports one. The shields are banned and
Yes.
there's no strategy, you know, really in the banning. Or you leave, you try and play the strategy in the operator ban phase,
Difficult,
and then
this is
shields
so-
just kind of abuse the meta right now. It's the big storyline of what's happened at this major in this season. So I think that's what they'll be looking for.
Lax, how much does it impact the community with these
Hmm,
panels?
I mean, it tremendously. I mean, you get to see a completely different look at Siege, a different approach to Siege, especially with certain operators if they get tweaked or touched, or just even certain aspects of Siege and how you play the game as a whole. So, I mean, it's great for the community, it's great for the esports as a whole.
Well,
يا
this
خلي
is
كذا.
very exciting, Leo. I was gonna
يلا
let you
يلا.
say, but we are getting underway. This is the big one. It's time
The
for
big
us to
one.
unveil Year 9, Season 4.
Yeah, season 4. Let's go. Oh my god. متحمس. هاد كل ذيل الخواص اللي راح يجون. اوه ماي جاد. اتوقع من هنا احسن. مش شديد. بس اوكي. ورجعت 30 ثانية بس. بلاك بيل بيتغير. سيج كاب. باجس كبير. أشياء كثيرة. لينج سان سوا ثاندربيرد الشيلز راح يتغيرون أكثر من شيء يا أبوي. مو متعودين ترى إنه على ذا. تعودنا على السيزون الثاني والثالث إنه السيزون الثاني أشياء قليلة بعدين السيزون الثالث أشياء أكثر بعدين ذا السيزون.
Hello and
Shit,
welcome
so-
to Operation Collision Point,
Okay.
the fourth and final season of Year 9 of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm your host, Camille Salazar Hadaway, here with a jam-packed reveal show. We've got a ton of new features to talk about, including some big player protection news. Now, let's welcome Creative Director Alexander Karpazis to give you a full overview of Operation Collision Point.
Operation Collision Point. طيب.
This is Operation Collision Point, and it's our grand finale of seasons in this year.
صحيح.
It ends with a
أنا
bang,
هذا
and
آخر
it brings
season.
to the table
راح يجيب
everything we've
رجال.
been working on together this past year 9. We can't wait for you to get your hands on these new features.
Okay.
It starts with crossplay. We are allowing PC players and console players to finally play together with the crossplay
Crossplay.
feature, so that wherever you
بدأوا
are,
بأقل
whatever
أكثر شيء يعني ما
platform, play
أهتم
together with
بهاي.
your friends. You're going to see the reputation system
Oh,
come
okay,
online
right.
with
That's good,
all of the
okay.
feedback that you've provided us in the past. We are
Reputation system is
remastering
great.
Blackbeard, and he is the true point man in the Siege roster. Balancing teams bringing some balancing changes too, not just for shields in general, but some other operators that you might see. We're so thankful for all of you who participated in the beta of Siege Cup. It launches
Siege
for
Cup,
everyone in Season 4. so everybody can play Siege in tournament mode. You'll be able to playtest all of what we announce next week and let us know your feedback through our 6 Fix. So
Okay.
stick with us. We have a lot to
واكتشفت.
cover, and stay tuned.
Okay.
With Operation Collision Point, friends who play on console and PC can now join together in lobbies to team up, hop into matches, and then crouch, teary-eyed, over each other's fallen operators while solemnly vowing to get the refrag. Here's
Okay.
UX designer Abhishek Agarwal with the details on this crossplay update.
بس بيجي قصة عليه شو.
As we introduce PC and consoles crossplay, we know that fair play, especially cheating, is a
Indeed, yeah.
concern. So we are excited to confirm that Mousetrap V2 will be a part of this feature to keep things
Mousetrap V2.
balanced. We'll share more details about Mousetrap in our next segment, but for now, we are excited to bring crossplay between all platforms in Siege. Console
Crossplay.
players will have 3 pools to play in: the platform-specific pool, the consoles-only pool, and the PC crossplay pool. They'll be able to select that in the crossplay matchmaking setting in the options menu.
قال
To ensure
دي
safe
اختار.
experience for console players in the PC pool, we have made console players indistinguishable from other PC players. Players will be able to invite each other seamlessly across PC and console platforms through Ubisoft Connect.
Okay.
Console players will be able to progress both
تختار.
their PC rank as well as their console rank by playing directly on consoles in the relevant pools.
بنك اوكي.
The Year 9 plans we revealed in Sao Paulo earlier this year
Eh.
included a lot of player protection features.
A lot of
And
player
this
protection
season
features.
is the culmination of all those plans. Alexander Karpazis and UX designer Roland Poe are here to give you the full rundown.
اوكي نشوف. طيب تكشن شو بيحطون اساسا؟ اوكي اوكي.
Changes to crossplay.
حق
We're looking at
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap now.
إيه.
Now that
Look,
keyboard and
that
mouse
cows
is allowed to play on console with PC players, we will be re-examining the way that we tackle players who try to circumvent that. We have a new 3-strike system that detects if you are playing with mouse and keyboard in the wrong player pool. And on the 3rd strike, you'll be moved to the PC pool for 90 days. Our machine learning model is constantly improving with players playing the game.
يعني
So we're
يقول
becoming more and more accurate over time, and
إذا
the fact
تلعب
that we are
ماوس كيبورد
releasing
وانت
this
تاخذ
now
سيرفر
means that
كونسل
we're
يوديك
confident in the
البيس.
system
يعطيك
protecting
سترايك
the right
مدوش.
players.
إذا عندك 3 سترايكات.
Cheat match cancellation is coming in season 4.
هذا حلوة.
And that means we can react faster to detecting cheaters and getting them out of the game as soon as possible. If you're in a match with a cheater and they're banned, you
Okay.
will see the notification pop up and the match will be canceled. The
والصادي.
player will be
It's
removed from the
oh.
game, and every legitimate player will not be punished for canceling the match.
Nice.
Throughout year 9, we've worked on the reputation system refresh. That means we've changed everything top to bottom, front to back. And everything starts with the actions that are tracked in-game. We're introducing a new concept called units. And these are standardized ways of understanding actions and act as the building block for your reputation. The goal of the reputation system is to catch recurrent and highly toxic players, guide and reward players who are showing positivity. And the way we're achieving that is looking over a long period of time to really understand a pattern of players' behaviors. Over the past 100 matches in 90 days, what has a player been up to? This means that a single errant grenade throw that bounces away you didn't expect isn't going to send your reputation plummeting. What will is repeated patterns of disruptions. We're introducing a new visualization called the standing map.
حق البلايستيشن
This will show you
سيستم
your
عادي.
positive and negative units, as well as exactly where you are in the standing. So how close are you to achieving that next upper bracket? One final note is that with the launch of the refresh reputation system, everybody's scores is getting reset.
ها يسوون
That
نفس
means you'll
الماراثون.
start the season with 0 positive units and 0 negative units. We really want you to engage with the system, understand it from the beginning. You helped us create this refresh system, and we'll be listening to your feedback once again, and together helping to create a safe and positive play space for everyone.
أكيد.
Toxic communication is never acceptable. Full stop.
Full stop,
And with Year
okay.
9 Season 4, Rainbow Six is taking a strong stance against toxic communication with the introduction of automated text chat moderation.
عاد كل العيش
That
حق
means that
البي
every
سي.
message that's sent in the text channel will be assessed, and those that are determined to be disruptive will either be
ما أتوقع راح يضيفون الشخص في
or prevented from
الكونسل.
being sent in the first place. And the way we determined which messages were disruptive was to assemble a diverse team and go through many different categories and establish varying levels of acceptability. A good rule of thumb to think about is if you were in this room with 9 other strangers,
Okay.
would you and they be okay hearing these things? Saying these things?
هل
If
أنت
the answer is
بتكون
no,
أوكي مع
then those are the sort of messages that might get flagged or removed. If a player sends multiple flagged or removed messages during a match, they will be automatically muted for the rest of that match.
اوكي إذا سبع
Players show
صاير
repeated
يتكرر
pattern of
راح
disruptive communication, they
شو
will
اسمه
face
يصير
a
ميوت
preventative mute
طول
penalty,
الماتش.
meaning they will be muted in both text and voice for 20 matches. We know that varying people are going to have different opinions on what is acceptable and not acceptable. And this is also a new system. But we are confident that it's the right step in securing text chat, and we'll be very closely listening to your feedback. That way, working in collaboration with you, we can make text chat a great place for everyone.
اوكي اللي بعده
I
ها
know you're
تك
eager
شات.
for the big moment we've got coming up.
حتى نو يعني بس آخر شيء
We have
بيكون.
some exciting things to share. But before we dive into that, we've got a special surprise for you. A mid-reveal treat.
Mid
It's
reveal treat.
Maestro, like you've never seen him before.
الإليت. Oh god. إن شاء الله مو بكوبي رايت يعني أنا أحب الكوبي رايت. بس أوه ماي جاد. مايستر. واو في طول هذا البث مهتمين بالأمريكان حيل يعني. أو يعني مو الأمريكان لأمريكا الشمالية وكذا. One last job elite sets.
Even on vacation,
Okay.
he's so cool.
حلو
Next up,
بصراحة.
we've got a peek under the hood of some improvements to the matchmaking
Long-term
system that
progression.
live
I don't know.
content director Christopher
في شيء
Legend
تحت
is
في
going to
long-term
walk you
progression.
through.
بس خلينا نشوف. يلا. Matchmaking improvements. Okay.
This season, we're bringing
And
two
we should-
new huge improvements.
Welcome
One
back.
is team rebalancing, and the other is Phantom Player. Phantom Player is a
Hey.
new way that we calculate skill of a squad. How that works is that it takes 2 aspects into account. One is the size of the squad. So are you 2, 3, 4 players within a squad, or a full stack, for example, because you're giving call-outs, you're playing and coordinating with each other, maybe getting a refrag off of each other. These are all elements that players who are playing separately are not able to do, certainly not as easy. Another is the difference of skill within that squad. So for example, if you're a champion pairing with a copper, that would be a large difference in skill.
Hey,
If
the
a
champion
champion pairs
copper,
with 4
yeah.
coppers to drive down their average skill, it's not really fair to anybody in that lobby. With the Phantom Player, that will add a lot of skill to that group, and they'll ultimately be playing in a more fair lobby. We like to call this feature Phantom Player because it's as if there's a 6th player on the team in terms of skill. Phantom Player will be used within all of our playlists, including the Siege Cup.
هل أساسا بيكون في فرق يعني؟
We're also bringing team rebalancing.
اليوم ما
Now, this
تحكيني
is something
كلهم.
we've been testing on live in Year 9 Season 3, and we're ready to have this fully rolled out for Year 9 Season 4. What team rebalancing does is it looks at all the players on each team and just rebalances them to give an improved way to calculate the skill of both teams. So,
Team
which
rebalancing.
squad should a team go to? Should it go on Team A or Team B? Now, with the team rebalancing feature, will be an improved way to make sure that the 2 teams are
دي ما
as
كانت
close in
موجودة
skill
من
as
قبل
possible.
والله.
So we're able to add these matchmaking improvements
كذا هم
because we've
طريقة ده.
actually
هل الفرق
restructured
ده
our
ولا فرق
matchmaking
ده؟
component of our engine. And that's why we were able to bring skill initialization
ما
last
بيسكت-
season.
ما بيتكلم عشان
Big
بيسمع
improvements
لهم.
this season. We have more coming next season with dynamic matchmaking. Look out for more matchmaking improvements as we continue to evolve within Siege.
Okay.
Operation Collision Point marks the arrival of the most competitive playlist yet, the Siege Cup. If you're ready to see what your squad can really do, this is the place to do it. Game designer Robert Cole will give you all the details as we celebrate the full release of Siege Cup.
اوكي سيج كاب راح ينزل بشكل كامل في هذا السيزون او سيزون الجاي يعني. جد. ديسكورد والله ما حسبت كذا.
Let's do this.
8 teams still. Oh my god.
He's upstairs. Reach that wall. Yeah,
Most competitive.
T4 and ping.
شلون يستعمل كنترول او يصير كمل على اساس انه يوصلوا بالنهائي وكذا.
Go, go, go. Stick together. Planting, make noise. It's the final. Let's get the win.
ياخذ الشخص رهيب ما ادري احس وجهه كذا. competitive coins واضح ان تعبوا عليه
Thank you everyone for
الفيديو.
participating in the Siege Cup beta. Coming next season, we will be inviting everyone above clearance level 50, including console players, to Siege Cup. So
يا
everyone
كونسل
will be able to
ابي جابه مرة باقي
We
جابه
want Siege
سيج
Cup to be
كاب.
the most competitive moment in the game. So matches in
كان
Siege
في
Cup will
البيتا
have 8
بس في البي
rounds
سي.
instead of the 6 of rank, together with a roll swap after the 4th round. Apart from that, the map
صح
selection in
لازم
Siege
كان
Cup
ندير.
will be handpicked in advance, so that players will know in which map they will compete days before its Siege Cup. As we announced previously, we'll be bringing our new Phantom player algorithm to Siege Cup. This means that teams with big skill disparities will be placed in much harder brackets. The release of Siege Cup
إذا
is a
أنا
big
دخلت
milestone.
لحالي هل
We're not
بيدخل
stopping
ناس
here.
معي ولا
We have a
لازم
big list
أدخل مع
of features and improvements to make it the
أخويا
best version possible.
اللي ما عندي.
It's
وين
time to
بعد
take a
أخذ؟
look at this season's bouncing update.
Okay.
Here's what we've got on the top.
Oh boy, oh boy.
And every operator who uses a shield. How will they be
Sensing
affected?
and every
That's
operator
what
uses
Game
the
Director
shield.
Joshua Mills is here to tell you.
Every operator تقول يعني. أتوقع في operators عندهم شيء كذا بس ما أدري.
We're going right after a problem that we're already seeing in our community, which is our ballistic shields.
Those
So
shields.
fundamentally, they're performing in a more aggressive state than we intended, and we want to go in and address that.
Okay,
So what
نصير
do we do?
aggressive أكثر.
One, melee priority will now be properly respected. For example, a player melees a shield causing a guard break. The shield user will no longer be able to cancel that shield break with their own shield bash.
Oh.
Two, consecutive guard breaks will now have a stacking benefit. That defender can now
Guard
increase the
break.
intensity of the guard break exponentially. Meaning if Monty does nothing,
Oh.
he'll be able to achieve a 100% guard break opening even on an extended shield.
بعد.
We no longer ignore guard break actions due to the animation. For example, you melee a blitz and the guard break animation plays. But as the shield is about to settle back down, you melee it again. Previously, that second melee would not have connected and the guard break animation would have completed with the shield
بس حين واحد
settling.
كنسل.
But now, that melee will connect
Oh.
and the guard break will be reset
واحد
and
يتصل.
have that increased intensity as mentioned before. Now jumping onto the shield mechanics themselves. Suppress the Fire is a tool to stop shield users from sprinting and closing the distance. Suppression will now require less bullets to trigger, from 10
Okay.
to 5, and less bullets to reach the maximum intensity of suppression from 40 to 20. Maximum
Yeah,
suppression
sure.
lasts for 7 seconds when not receiving any additional damage. The shield bash damage will also be reduced. We're taking it from 65 damage all the way to 0. We are realigning to a core principle in Siege that if you want to be lethal,
ما
you
حيدمج.
must be able to receive lethal. Being lethal means being vulnerable.
Okay.
The last change is that we're modifying the
Nice.
shield collision detection when shield bashing to more closely follow the detection used for knife melees. This will eliminate some odd moments when a shield bash hits when it otherwise shouldn't have.
اوكي صد الشيء الحين ما يدمج.
Also tackling
Nice.
Ying in season 4.
Okay.
We're going after that frustration around the fact that she can
بس
almost
الشيلد
instantaneously
brave مع
flash a sight
شوي
and
بس.
enter it all at once. What we want to do here is require Ying to have a little more precision on how she deploys her Candelas, but also give our defenders a chance to react to them. It may be known or may not be known, but you can actually shoot the Candelas before they go off. And defenders
Yes,
will now
ma'am.
have a bigger window in order to do that.
فهمت.
In Season 4, we're looking into Sens. They've had a low presence in the game since they were introduced. We're looking to add a little more functionality and utility to the gadget for more strategic play, the Rue. What can it do now? One, Sens can toggle it on and off at will. So if the ball's
Oh.
deployed, they can go ahead and turn it off. They can even
تطفيه
deploy the
بشكل
gadget
عام.
off and then turn it on whenever they feel like it. Additionally, the room emits a light wall, so it's not a smoke. All gadgets that can normally see through smoke will no longer be able to see through the wall.
As we continue to enhance
Oh
Siege,
my god,
we're
okay.
introducing something that will make
يطفي
every match
مش عارف
count
اشيل بس ما
even
ادري
more.
يشيل يمكن.
The team is rolling out the beginnings of a new progression system to track milestones and
بعد
achievements
جزء
that
كبير
you
اوكي.
earn just by playing. To explain how it all works, please welcome UI artist Gaston Rojas.
جديدة اتوقع ما عشان نفس التواصل.
Our goal of
I'm so
introducing the badge system to Siege is to reward your long-term engagement by earning badges through in-game achievements. There will be badges for
Good.
everyone, no matter your skill
Tier
level,
1,
but
Tier 2.
mastery is highly rewarded. To unlock badges and upgrade them, you must complete different challenges. There are elimination challenges that require kills or assist with certain weapon loadout. There are also badges that you can unlock by playing with a full permit squad. Others that you can unlock on your own by making plays and using game tools like rappelling or drones. For now, there will be 22 badges and more on the way, with 4 different tiers to upgrade: bronze, silver, gold and chrome. The more you progress in the challenges, the fancier the badges you will unlock. Career is a new player centralized hub that organizes replays, rank, reputation and future stats into one place.
Okay,
this
is
just the
Fortnite.
beginning, so expect more additions to track your progress.
Blackbeard. Once a feared point man, this
على طول.
operator has seen less action in recent years as the game has evolved.
ولف على
But
طول
now,
صنع
it's
بدي.
time to bring him back into the spotlight. Joshua Mills will explain everything about Blackbeard's remaster, but first, Blackbeard makes his triumphant return to Siege Tales.
اوكي يا Siege Tales. هذا اللي شفناه. على اساس إن يعني خذ البول. وات اوكي ماشي ايش دخل Siege Tales بكذا. اخو شيء.
Now somehow you all figured this out. I don't know how you figured it out, who told you or whatnot. But yes, it is in fact Blackbeard.
شنو يقول شلون اعرف ذا؟
Right out of the gate with the fact that blocking a one-shot headshot in a one-shot headshot game is a serious problem. But additionally, being able to be fully protected and be lethal at the same time is another big problem. Being able to address both those is what we're doing with this remaster.
Good.
New gadget, new gameplay. We've never seen this before. He's the guy that goes first in the door or through the wall. That's what the Hull Adaptive Shield can do now. Blackbeard can actually approach a soft wall and burst through it, taking that ground and running in first while leading his team. We want to really adapt the way he plays inside a building and how we can open up new lines of traversal. One of our key objectives with Blackbeard was to make sure he was the point man. We want him to be in the front line of the fire. That means he needs to be protected. Essentially, when Blackbeard wants to go combat ready, you simply ADS. And when you do that, the glass panel will slide down and reveal your target, but also expose Blackbeard. Now keep in mind that when Blackbeard can go lethal, he can receive lethal. The shield will drop, the gun will go in place, and he'll be able to be lethal, but he can receive damage. He'll be protected in the chest area, but of course, he'll know where everyone's aiming. Reloads will not be safe reloads with Blackbeard. He'll need to take the time to reload in cover and make sure that he can do that while not exposing himself. He used to be the Repel King, being able to be on Repel, hold long sights, and be protected. We're bringing that back. Obviously with the change that when he goes lethal, that shield comes down and he can, in fact, be headshotted back or take damage back. Well, as far as getting up and meleeing Blackbeard, I highly recommend you don't do this because he still has all the same functionality of our ballistic shields. He can sure as hell melee you back. We did custom animations, new models, new gadget, you name it, it's all going in. And we wanted to make this one hell of a complete package. If you want to bring some serious firepower and some protection, you bring Blackbeard.
And there you have it. Operation Collision Point is set to bring some of the most exciting updates and changes we've seen this year. From crossplay to player protection and the remaster of Blackbeard, we're excited for you to experience all the new content. It's been an incredible journey through year 9. Now, gear up for Operation Collision Point, and we'll see you in game.
ولد شيء قليل زين. يا الله خلينا نصبر بس. ثلاثة سيزون. شلون سيج كاب بيتا؟ خراب، ما عندي بيتا. اوكي. Test server next week. Okay. Nice. وينزل 3 ديسمبر.
And love both as a player and now of course as operators. Gentlemen, welcome back to the desk. We'll talk about the reveal panel, what we've just seen a little bit, because there's been a lot of discussion
والله
about
اتبني الصراحة الحين لا يتابع لما يتابع ما ادري كلم نفسي بس بكلم احمد مستقبلي بصراحة سكتنت. بصراحة انا احس انه اشياء قليلة نزلت وكذا. اوكي بتجي السيستم وكذا وكروس بلاي تلعب مع البي سي وحركات بس اشياء قليلة يعني تقدر تقول. يعني حتى لما اتكلم عن اوبريتور زينج سنس وحق البلاستيك شيلدز اتكلم عليهم كان كانوا قاعدين يسوون شورت على اليوتيوب. والله ينج يمديك تطلق على ذي يلا بعد سنس يمديك تحط الجدران حقين يمديك تطفيها وتشغلها بعدين يلا اللي بعد البلاستيك شيلدز. شنو يعني؟ والله بصراحة اوكي السيزون هذا بصراحة تحمست بزيادة. المفروض ما تحمست بزيادة. رود ماب هذا اللي شفناه كل ليلة راح يجي. حتى الكيوبي سيستم ما تكلموا عنه هالدور. تكلموا عن ديلي وتخطوا الكيوبي سيستم. ما سمعتهم يتكلمون عن الكيوبي سيستم على الأقل. وينج للحين ما أدري شو اللي يده سنس. شنو ثاندر بيرد؟ شو اللي بيجي له ثاندر بيرد؟ وات؟ شنو يجي له ثاندر بيرد؟ حاطين ثاندر بيرد هنا. والله دقيقة هل يمديني اروح على reveal panel formation collision point هذا احنا شفناه بس دقيقة يتخطى شوي balancing اتوقع. والله لا اشوف balancing. خلنا نشغل دقيقة اسكت نشوف. هذا الشيء زين جاد بريك وكذا. اوكي حلو جاد بريك وذا اوكي فاهمين. ينج ايوه تعرف شو اللي غيره حق ينج. يعني ما غيروا شيء عن جادجت نفسها او الابيلتي نفسها. نرجع نقول اوكي اوكي يعني المدة حقت انه قبل لا شو اسمه تسوي ديتونيت الكندلنس.
But not only that,
And
he is
it's
one
got
of
me,
the
you can tell.
nicest people. Anybody who has ever met him inside of this ecosystem, he's one of the nicest people and nicest pro players in totality.
There's a lot of storylines for all of these teams, but Lax, if we're honing in on individuals, who do you look to on W7M?
Yeah, there's another storyline there, and that has to be Volps.
دقيقة بيعرف شيء معلش شوي ذا بس يتكلمون عن ريفيل بانل وكذا كاتبين
What we want to
ثاندربيرد
do here is require King to have a little more precision on how she deploys her Candelas, but also give our defenders a chance to react to them.
اوكي هذه
I'll have a bigger window,
since
a little more functionality and utility to the
Another team, just because it might be the best option or it looks like the best option, does not mean that always works out. It's a gamble. It's a 50-50. You don't know what can happen. And sure enough, yet again, he gets so close. He's made so many S-tier events and just cannot finish that line of just winning that championship. And not only joining that Liquid roster, he then would get removed. And to speak of resilience, of someone's sheer tenacity in a player, that is what Volps carries. He then joins back. W7M joins this team, goes to EWC, knocks out Liquid, crushes their key, and then gets crushed. Another heartbreak, losing to BDS. Now I'm saying what you're saying, losing to BDS, and then now finds himself here yet again at the grand final where he can finally achieve his dream, achieve it with his team around him, and be a champion finally.
Jack, there's a lot of different players on both of these rosters, but when we look at these two specifically, how do they match up?
Well, I want both of them to win after the...
أبي أعرف والله أبي أعرف أنا بصراحة انقهرت ما انقهرت بس يعني ماشي أقول حاطين هنا Thunderbird update خلنا نزوم عشان تشوفون adjustment to Thunderbird will make her a more valuable asset to the team. أوكي يعني بيغيرون على Thunderbird حاطينه هنا في Operation Collision Point. طيب وكملت يعني راح يسووها بعدين نروح على ريفيل بانل. خلنا نرجع ورا شوي من بدأ يتكلم عن balancing. اوكي البداية هنا عن shields بعدين هنا عن يينغ حلوين.
precision on I'll have a bigger window.
بيعرف
They can go ahead and turn it off.
Husband's okay.
The gadget off and then turn it on whenever they feel like it. Additionally, the Rue may longer be able.
Introducing something that will make every match count even more.
بس
The team is rolling out the beginnings of a new progression system.
وين ثاندربيرد؟ ما غيروا عنها شيء. وانا حاط في الفيديو حقي ثاندربيرد وسيدز. بدأ الجيم والله لا اشوفه ما بيفوت.
And then, of course, W7M, they're going to get rid of Bank. Now, it's their permanent ban, but also BDS absolutely love Bank, so it's no real surprise to see these two bans coming out, Leo. But that Consulate pick.
Yeah, Consulate pick from BDS, I'm not too surprised. I know some of these people here that I might be watching the statistics might think, okay, it's not that best of a BDS map. Why did they pick it? Well, if you look at W7M, it's one of the worst maps. They've lost it 3-7 to FaZe, 3-7 to Furia, and all the way back in the grand final of EWC. Who did he lose to in that grand final? BDS, and that was not even close, 2-7.
Well, let me look at Lab specifically here for W7M. This is a great map for them. They are on a 7-game win streak. And when you think of BDS just recently beating FaZe, and again, I think that gave them a false sense of reality and a false sense of confidence because FaZe just did not look like they were in that game. They did not look like they could even get a foot in the door. It's not to discredit what BDS is, but again, I think it really just illustrates that
I'm so حاطط توقعات إنه W7M يفوزون كذا.
really understands this map and is going to
خلينا نقول يا رب.
Yeah, I think they'll change the operator bans up from yesterday at Nighthaven, will W7M. And then we're going to see Border and Skyscraper in terms of the bans from these two teams. Now, obviously BDS, not really a huge fan of Border, and they lost this map to W7M in this tournament, so get rid of it. For W7M, Skyscraper is literally BDS's favorite map. It's their #1 map preference if they could get to it. So I'm not surprised to see these two maps taken away.
Going into that clubhouse, this is worrisome. Fox made a very good point during the stage. You don't bring a team that you're better than to clubhouse. Clubhouse is such a default map. There's nothing that you're going to do that's going to surprise a team, that you're going to bring out, know that no one hasn't seen across the region. Every team across across the board has played Clubhouse, knows how it plays, the fundamentals and what it takes. A game of Clubhouse, to me, really comes down to who is making the least amount of mistakes and whoever is capitalizing on those mistakes.
I 100% get that point, but when I think of that EWC final again, I feel like BDS is trying to repeat that again, because on Clubhouse, last EWC final, they won 7-2 against W7M, and it's a similar story with Cafe. I think both of the teams love Cafe.
Yeah.
You look at Chalet as the decider, usually it tells you that both of these teams are great at it. Well, let me tell you, both of these teams have a crazy win streak. W7M have won Chalet 4 times in a row now, 6 for BDS. Honestly, pretty balanced map pool.
It is almost time, so I'm going to get quick predictions as we go through this. Are we kickstarting an era of the Europeans or the Brazilians, Jack?
The Europeans, of course.
Backing them.
It's as simple as that. No, I mean, look, I think BDS on paper, man-to-man, have better mechanical players. I think Leakfac is possibly the best IGL in the game right now. I don't see a world where BDS over 5 maps don't get this done.
Lax?
WCTME! Oh, yeah, there is a fan club there.
There is.
Hey, we aren't in Brazil, but hey, we got people here.
W7M دهم يسوون على الحركة دي وشاكي يعني
As a unit, the best. BDS! I think the French is taken.
I'm okay to go against the grain.
Yeah, I don't want to take any more of Ian's hype, that's for damn sure. Big Ian over here, but we've got a bigger match to come. Ladies, gentlemen, Montreal, it is time for your Montreal Major Grand Final.
Okay.
BDS is probably the biggest team to face against in this tournament. If not the worst matchup, I think they are like one of the annoying ones to play against.
نقهون لما تلعب ضد BDS.
We faced them last time
Okay.
during the Esport World Cup final. We won at the end.
Esport World Cup final بعدين فوزوا.
But we are better. So against them, we are going to full focus on the gunfights to have the win at the end.
Okay.
When you face against BDS, you don't see like such a tactical team, so I'm really confident to beat them. Ikefak, this time I'm gonna show you who is the best red player in the world. Hello Vops, last time you get your revenge, now it's my turn. See you there.
Okay, W7M versus BDS.
Fans travel thousands of miles to be here. You tune in internationally to see the question answered. Who truly is the best this beautiful game has to offer? It's Championship Sunday, which means it is time to lock
Championship Sunday.
another piece of R6 Esports history. 2 incredible contenders waiting right here to come out onto this stage.
على البيست اوف 5 يعني بيطول الجيم بس نشوف بيست اوف 5 تفعلوا ناس بس BDS واضح ان BDS يشجعون BDS واجد في نفس الوقت الناس واجد يشجعون W7M يعني ما في شو اسمه فرق واضح ما في فرق واضح صوتها وكذا
The unbeaten Bulls are ready to charge.
Unbeaten Bulls.
It's W7M.
حماس قال لاحظ حق W7M يايكس قال حماس حق W7M الفريقين هذول راح يتنافسون واللي يفوز راح ياخذ التروفي. تقابلوا في كأس العالم حق الإي سبورت والحين راح يتقابلون في النهائي حق الR6 Major. Oh my god.
second time we've seen you both in a grand final situation internationally this year. I'm going to come to you first, Loban. Why can you beat BDS this time around?
Because we are a better team. I think we're prepared, and yeah, that's it.
Why are you, Likifak, and your roster going to crush the dreams of your opponents here?
We like WCNF. It's a really good team. They look better than Esports World Cup, but unfortunately, it's again best of 5, and it will be against a victory for BDS.
Any final words for your opponent here, Loban?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Shake hands. All right. It's time to do a sound check in here, isn't it? Who do we think is going to win? Is it going to be W7M? Is it going to be BDS? And I want to do it right now. This is the home of Siege. It's grand final time. You've all come together. We're like one big family. Let's blow the roof off this place, all right? I want to see how loud we can get in Montreal. Montreal. Make some noise!
Don't ban them was so hot.
Another live event and another TriCast, and I have brought my 2 children to work with me today.
That's where you're starting off.
That's where we're starting.
This is no load يعني.
How else did you think he was gonna start? Be honest.
I know, you can't trust anything with this guy.
No, I was expecting originally Rob to throw to me, and I was going to make another joke about how he looks like a monkey, but I mean, like, I didn't get that option, and Ian is just too objectively pretty for me to say anything about him, so I had to turn inward, and I had to, you know, some friendly fire to shoot.
You can't talk bad about Ian. Ian
No,
Chambers.
it's impossible.
I tried earlier, and I just ended up doing an impression of him by complete accident. My instincts wanted to emulate him so badly.
Did you, before we get into the actual matchup now, as we're still waiting for the teams to get loaded in, and then we're going to get into Consulate with our very first map, did you hear during the show match Manic's impression of Ian?
I did hear that. I think he maybe could work on that a little bit.
Did you hear yesterday Manic allegedly did an impression of me on the desk? It was also terrible.
Well, I wouldn't envy anybody trying to sound like you.
All right, well, I envy myself trying to sound like myself. I think I'm pretty great.
My heart is warm whenever we get to Montreal. We've had a lot of events here on the same place where this game was created. The devs got to play in the show match earlier, and as Ian touched upon, it really does feel like a family event when we get to Montreal. It is nice to see a full barn today here in a very cold hockey arena. I hope that the matches are hotter than it is inside of this building.
Well, Jesse, I mean, I would also hope that we have a better matchup because the last time these two teams faced, what was the number? W7M got 6 rounds against BDS across 3 maps. Is that correct?
That's not good. Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not even enough to win a single map here in Rainbow Six Siege. So we're hoping for a better series, and I do think we're gonna get one. The analysts, the players, even BDS themselves have been saying that W7M look better than the last time they met. They got to experience it firsthand in the Swiss phase, where W7M walked away with a victory. So,
8-7.
Starting to break that trend, W7M showcasing they can beat the best in the world. BO1 is very different from a BO5.
2 teams that made it into the semifinals, widely considered to be 2 of the teams in the top 3 of the whole world, were BDS and FaZe Clan. They did battle yesterday in
Consulate Labs, Clubhouse, Cafe وشاليه.
No, I didn't either, and I think it's a case of BDS might just be peaking right at the right time. I know I mentioned in the desk mention that I said at one point BDS were looking weaker going into Montreal than they did going into Manchester, and I think in no small part that was true, but it stopped being true in half of the quarterfinal on Friday, but it definitely stopped being true in the semifinal against FaZe yesterday. They look incredible.
Folks, friends and enemies.
صح نسيت أحط دقيقة أبي أحط هنا أيضا في تويتش مو بس في موقع حقهم.
We're gonna have a great game here. All 5 maps.
BDS take it.
No, you're not supposed to say that at the start. Game is ready though. Map number 1. You did a good job with Ian. Montreal, make some noise for your
كلهم على BDS. صراحة أنا حاط في بالي W7M. بقى خلنا نشوف نقول 4500 يلا 4500 لا 4500 اوكي W7 ديموس ده اوكي اشوف بدون مونتي فاهم غريم
expecting a Fenrir and a Valkyrie if we keep with the trends.
And of course, we have seen, I think, BDS ban Azami on the map in the past as well. So will they go with that? No. So far, Jesse, we are 3 for 3 on the trends.
He just reads numbers, and it makes him seem so smart.
I can't even.
Okay, who makes these numbers though? I find them.
That's true. I guess you're not making them. You're not cooking the books.
Oh, numbers didn't say that one.
Envy the Capcom.
Jesse, and to be
Okay.
fair, for thinking about W7M on this matchup, one thing that we have seen repeatedly throughout this whole event is despite the org they're playing under and what their previous roster used to do, they have been remarkably passive on their defenses, and I don't mean that as an insult. They like to draw the team into the map, whittle down that time, but if they face those same problems on Consulate, if BDS are able to slow them down, well, the last thing you want to do with 20 seconds left, walk into a door with 3 EDDs and lose an important kill.
هل تابع المباراة في البث هذا؟ يا الله ما حد راح يدخل بث أنا بكون حاولي هذا آخر ميجر No. خلنا ناخذ هدوء عن الشيلد هدوء نو أنا بين هدوء اوكي هذا أول راوند في الجراند فاينل أول راوند
have been very firmly in that former category, running the Deimos, the Dokkaebi, and Bride only, at least in the EUL, for example, only flexing on the shields here and there. Not at all a cornerstone of their strategy, but bringing it out right here, especially with Dokkaebi ban, on Consulate attack, you really need every tool you can get your hands on.
Saltov, no idea how close he was. They're just worried about this Nitro Cell or the impacts that could come through, but it looks like, on first attempts, the wall gets no contention. Here we see a player peeking around the pillar, a smoke grenade immediately going out.
BDS best. Okay. Nice. Oh my god. W7M. You get him also. Shaiko uses. شلون مدخل بكاوتش توتر. Let's go. أول راوند عدى بسرعة. أول راوند طبعا بست اوف 5 يعني 5 مرات. إذا ما حدد الفوز في 4 مرات من بالخامس ولا حدد. اللي هو مان زين.
Trend for them. They first picked this map in Manchester against East Coast. They won it 7-3. This was the first map they played on in their last BO5 against W7M. They won 7-3. W7M, in theory, even 4 rounds here is a good start to this finals. It's better than almost anything else has been able to get against BDS. So, starting with a strong win like this, stopping that aggression is hugely important for momentum going forward.
And I think especially bringing up that Manchester final is pertinent because even with Shaiko dropping biblically awful numbers for his career in that final, BDS as a whole struggling in that final, they still only lost 2-3. It was still a close game that Beast Coast had to overperform map after map. So if W7M were able to stop that momentum right here, obviously, too early to tell. I gave my prediction earlier. I'm sorry about that, Parker.
That's fine.
It's still very important, as Jesse said, that given how close these finals can be for BDS, that you take away every little advantage they can find.
They did write about Shaiko in the Bible.
Did they?
Yeah, they called him Jesus.
والله كويس.
Obviously, if they want to be taking out W7M,
ترى BDS هم مختارين كونسولت يعني ما هو ب W7 عشان ذا.
nobody would deny that. The GOAT, that's a different question. Certainly adding another win to that
شوي كول ما كان مثل قبل. اللي يصير في السكرين كذا ممكن واضح. الله.
And that's the player that I think needs highlighting. Obviously, a lot of ink will be spilled talking about Shaiko, potentially even Brede.
Nice guard.
Or Leaky Fat, as it's called inside of the server, who's really been the star for BDS this event, consistently doing great on challenging roles, and no team.
لا لا. ولد. ايوه في glitch.
Yet to even enter the building, we still see massive kills coming out for BDS. They've got 3 more to find now. They've kind of pivoted away from the admin take. They were struggling with some of the utility. The Electroclaw wasn't cleared out, so they're switching things out now. They're going over towards Bathroom. They're going over towards Spiral. Now still towards admin, but on the roof can move wherever he wants. These Flores drones have been huge.
Yes, exactly. And with this 5v3, look at the castles, the Azamis. The fact that you still have 1 minute 20 seconds and a 2-body advantage to go about this utility clear, BDS are in such a strong position to tie that first round from W7M. As long as nobody from the defense overperforms, we're really trending towards a BDS victory.
All the Kiba barriers have been thrown by Dodez, so the only thing that will still generate over time is those Kuba.
والله قاعد يبعد سلته. Oh my god, okay. Quad kill. Quad kill.
He's putting ridiculous, putting up plus 19 numbers when they've gone through the Swiss phase. The only player through the entire tournament who's got a better KDR on attack was Robbie, who frankly farmed some not great teams in phase 1. Robbie's still a great player, had some amazing tournaments, but Solotov has been the guy on attack who's been far away the best player here in Montreal, and we're seeing exactly why. Doesn't even need to be operators, but still knows how to position himself to get in when the action gets hot, make sure he's hitting those shots. Solotov consistently has been so good for BDS.
And for a long time now, ever since this first BDS roster forms, it's hard to really find a weak link on what on paper is one of the best
سلته معهم بدأ.
Solotov has often been one of the lower performers. Yuzus, Shaiko, Leaky Fat, leading the way in KDR, cost everything. But if Solotov not only has a good game on attack, especially a map like Conflict, but if Solotov is raising the floor of this roster, BDS, who are already looking scary, could really give W7M a run for their money.
It's going to be a battle of who heats up really in this matchup. You expect both teams to be firing on all cylinders, but for BDS, you always know that these 5 players are going to bring it their all. Some early aggression in our 3rd round. We've gone, of course, to Piano and Open Area for the final site in the rotation. Obviously, this is one of those sites that the top floor is extremely important on. Do BDS choose to full clear it? Do they want to be able to take that control, or do they just say, screw it, we're going to skip past that step and hit the site?
They could decide to do it, but if you look at what W7M are running, they don't really need to necessarily contest a whole lot of control up top because
الجودة يمكن سيئة شوي.
but they've got the black eyes and the heartbeat scanner that if they can just in either of the bomb sites. So not
شغل كذا يب كذا أفضل.
they need to make sure by the late round they have control of the bomb before it launch.
And it looks like the top 4 hold, and the top 4 entry will come at the hands of Shaiko, who doesn't expect dots on yellow stairs. They were tracking down the Legion of Dash. Dots sacrificing his life to take out Shaiko and render useless those remaining death marks. That's a big win for W7M.
It was an optimistic second swing, but he killed Shaiko, and that's going to be all that you really want in some of these rounds. Now they've got some
إنك تذبح شايكو. هذا تبي.
Push the roamers back in towards admin. This is all they really need. They don't need to full clear top. They've denied the ability for W7M to deny from up above. So this spacing that BDS have taken is really valuable.
They'll add to their tally. Volps held off the score sheet for 3 rounds now. Consistently the best performer for W7M, and they'll be without him for the remaining minute.
They will, and something to notice right now, I'm not entirely sure where Loban is. He was retreating down to the bottom floor, but two defenders are going for the retake, and Solotov is on the cut.
Okay.
Wandering in, Solotov another double kill. 4 kills in the previous round, 2 here. Could a third be had?
Oh my god. حطوا الديفيوزر كده حطوا سولوتوف نار مبدع أعوذ بالله. 2-1 الحين بي دي اس أو 2. يب 2-1.
Pressure up above while the Monty goes down and sneaks that plant. Even if they had found an angle, stopping a Monty plant's very difficult with that shield on his back from up above. It's a hugely important task. Now we're seeing the attacks come out from BDS.
أو يوجد يعني.
As they're starting to gain momentum.
And a theme we're seeing develop for BDS so far are these attacks that don't want to take a single room extra than what they absolutely need.
Yeah.
Sure, they got punished for it in round 1. They try to break through that garage breach, and they're just completely shut down by the defenders. But then if you look at the second floor, mostly holding angles outside the building. Only when they get the advantage do they actually push in. That round, no clear the top floor. They get in yellow, they get the cutoff angle, and then break into the site. BDS are not trying to challenge W7M on any broad portions of the map. They get what they need, they take it, and that's good enough.
شوفوا الأرقام عند بي دي اس. يوزد 0-1 بيت 0-1 جايكو 1 ماخذ قتلات وصلت في 7 قتلات موت واحدة حرفيا. ما يبي يشوف ماب كليب كامل بس ما حسيت.
Six kills across 3 rounds is a bad tally to begin with. I mean, at least you did win 1 round, but since then it's been, I think you said it's been biblically good.
اوكي شو الكاميرا؟ ليش طيب يسوي فتحة كذا؟ ليه ما بن ما أدري.
And maybe cut a flank off. That's exactly what BDS has done.
Okay.
They have more information on the Kaid right now at Garage Door.
And if you were concerned about Solotov heating up in this game, well, BDS looking like they're about to set Consulate.
قاعدين نطحن احنا. أو W7M يعني قاعدين يطحنون.
Likifac has spent that time opening up the garage wall, and now we do see not necessarily a full clear, but BDS going back to the opposite side, looking to take that control.
Demos, okay.
Monty aided by Shaiko on this Demos. He always plays this operator if it's left up. 4 in a row now.
من جد كل شوي يلعب شايكو يلعب ديموس.
Giving up that space, and that only favors BDS.
BDS so much map control. They're going for this pincer push with 2 players coming in from servers. Of course, that's going to be the defuse kit. W7M need to make something happen. They've got to go for an aggressive swing and find a pick, because if this pincer push comes out and it's a 5v3, I just don't know how W7M are going to hold on to it.
5-3 يمكن. اسمه بشات. اوكي. اوه. Volps داخل. اوه. هم ديم 4 فلودس الواحد من فريق مال. ايوه يحط فيه BDS يفوز. والله يعني بس اعذروني دقيقة. tactical time up الحين.
W7M's guns, utility, everything already trained on the breach. Every other time, BDS have been able to misdirect W7M, draw their attention elsewhere, then get man advantage as afterwards to actually convert and execute onto the site. In each round, by the way, as well, to talk about BDS heating up, all of these victories have had a multi-frag from BDS. A Solotov 4K, a 3K, and now a Likifac 3K as well. These players are shooting straight and they're not cooling down.
Consulate, once again, is probably the most defender-sided map in Rainbow Six Siege. W7M now are 1 for 3. They have yet to find even a single defense. This tackle timeout is coming at the right time. They can get these last 2 defenses. That's going to be hugely important. If they go down 4-2, 5-1 into the second half, you're starting to look towards map 2 already. W7M needs to change the pace somehow. It always feels like BDS are controlling the engagements. They're taking them when they want to take them. W7M, whether that means getting
ألاحظ إنه يتكلم واجد يعني في وسط قبل ما يبدأ الراوند.
Now, none of us are native French speakers, but I've got a French word for this moment. Given BDS and W7M scoreline right now, and that's deja vu.
Oh, I was thinking baguette. Is that one word or 2 words?
Maybe it's many.
Deja vu.
I don't speak the language, that's the point.
ديجا فو ايش دخل؟
Feels like a repeat of what happened at the Esports World Cup.
ديجا فو اوكي. ديجا فو دي كلمة مو فرنسية بالضبط. بس بصينية وانا طول الوقت. طويل ما داجة سني ما باين حتى. لأن أنا صراحة كذا أنا كذا. بس أنا في الحقيقة كذا. ما أدري شنو كذا. WDS is just BDS just doing really good now, and we have currently taken, or we have just took a whatever. I'm not gonna go into the depths of what we've taken. Alright, Solotov's in.
W7M once again, Solotov's going to be making this move up the spiral stairs. This is again BDS controlling the pace of these gunfights.
Nice is not nice. Because I forgot I'm not rooting for BDS, but W7M. Okay. Good. Oops. No! Use this in. What's the zombie doing here? I guess mixed. Okay. Jeez! Oh my god. Oh, the barbed wire. What the? I want to see the replay. How did he die from the barbed wire? I just want to know. Like, I'm curious. But okay. Wow, we should have really lost the round, but I guess.
W7M's attention was a drop from Yellow Skylight. If you saw Bride go down on the Monty, he hopped over there, and as shields are often meant to do, draw the attention of the defense, and what Solotov wanted to happen was likely somebody rotate across, or for there to be a gap that he could push in, backstab the site. But that didn't happen. The Cade spots him, he fires a shot by him, and the defense plays a little more passive, and by also getting kills on the opposite side, W7M were able to win the round, as you can see. But the moral of the story that overall is, that was still a 1v2 that Dots had to win. They countered that strategy great, and still they almost lost.
Well, I mean, when you lose the Monty jumping in the skylight that early on, Bride has no real ability to influence that round. He was a shield vaulting in, most vulnerable, and he's dead. We don't get to see how that Monty would match up against the Clash. We don't get to see how BDS could have kept just slowly they're inching their way up to that CEO office.
People often talk about Consulate as defender-sided map, and sometimes they ask why. And the reason why Consulate's so defender-sided, one of the reasons, is it's very difficult to get into the map. As an attacker, you've got to swing in windows, you've got to drop a skylight.
Okay, so
and W7M, up until that last round, hadn't done much to stop BDS from...
Okay, so I'm gonna react only to the first map, which is Consulate right now. And then after the map ends, and then we enter map 2, I'm gonna end the stream and just react to it on my own. No, I don't think I can react for longer on stream. And also, like, there's no one that's gonna join. Like, I can see in the comments, it's It's right there. There's no one talking right now. It's just me talking to myself, and yeah.
Either of those three players exhibit that play style as well.
And that was Volps tossing the skyline, almost aiming to light. That's you're off. You're going to hear the repetition.
See right now, though, a couple players on this top four, though. The thing I'm most curious about is, are BDS surely not going to read into this? Those two players up top.
Oh my!
You think about going for a cutoff, but Dota just brazenly swings the main door. That's another opening kill going the way of W7M. They're third this half.
Controlling the pace, that's exactly what they had to do. The tack timeout seems to be working for them.
They had tactical timeout against work.
Lurking on the Visa stairs, takes down Loben to equalize that man count. It's going to be a big important pick. Now the last couple of roamers, of course, it's just Volps, who's still on yellow stairs. Dota's on his main floor as well. What's the choice? Are we still getting aggressive and hunting for picks, or are we falling back? It's looking like the former.
Seems like he's going
Hatches being opened up.
for EFAC.
That's Leaky Fact. Not just doing the killing, but also getting utility work down. He and Solotov have combined for 16 kills.
Wow.
There's 5 kills between Shaiko, Bride, and Uzis, and it's been really interesting.
Yeah,
to
it's
see the
really
evolution of a player
interesting.
like Bride, by the way, as Uzis picks up another kill for
Uzis got a
BDS
kill.
and gives the man advantage to them as well. Bride's been playing a more passive role as they've made changes to this team. His numbers obviously have dropped because of it. Now it's a backside hits.
Oh my god, EFAC with another kill.
From EFAC as Dash falters, Dots is next in line.
Oh my god, jeez.
Tracked by the death mark. EFAC finished off, and now Dots is looking for yet another. BDS have information. They're very close by. Bride getting diffuser down. Uzis and Shaiko sitting to watch these last two
Oh no,
players.
what the
Dots
heck?
miles away though, and now the clock will run against.
Uses just sneaking. Oh my god, Shaiko got the final kill for the round.
BDS take it, and they take the first half.
It's the kind of round
Who
that
knows?
BDS are
Maybe
really
BDS is
known for with
gonna
the players that they
lose
have.
this
Leaky
game
Fact
or
and
this
Yuzu are some of
map.
the
Who
best
knows?
lurkers in the world, and how do they
I mean,
compensate
at
for
the
that
end of the
earlier
day,
damage
it just
or the struggles on the
first map.
clear? Leaky Fact lurks up Visa, holds an angle, waits for a timing, and he gets it. That's a play Yuzus could do. That's a play Solotov has been doing this game so far, and it's how they are so good, or can be so good, at recovering disadvantages. The ironic thing is that's something we didn't see from them a lot in the EU League. They had some of the worst recovery percentages of winning 4v5s, but seeing them have success with that to make it a 4v4, then to convert that into an advantage and an execute and a win. There's been a lot of warning signs for W7M in this series just on this first map. It might be their pick, but everything that I am looking at for a victory is looking good for BDS.
I will say, this looks very much like a map win for BDS so far. They're going to the stronger side up 4-2, that's great. But in a BO5, you always expect to be winning your initial map pick. In a BO3, we say that, but in a BO3, before your opponent gets their first pick, you can
Beste
ban
5 UK tusen op hacken.
probably force it to a map that you're at least somewhat comfortable on. In a BO5, you can't do that, and this really shows. W7M have lost Consulate the last 4 times they played it against Tier 1 professional teams. This is not a map that they came into it expecting to win. I thought right with that very first round, maybe we're going to see W7M start to run away with it. Maybe they've got some fun strats in store that can really catch BDS off guard. The first
The
half,
match is only show, by the way.
Bride went that entire half, by the way, without getting a kill. His only 2 deaths coming in the 2 rounds
I think I
that
didn't know
BDS
him.
lost. This
It's another
again
hope.
goes back to something that Jesse and I touched on in that VP game on Border, and it's Bride is not at the forefront anymore. When BDS picked up Uzis and picked up Solotov, it has allowed Bride to play farther back. A different role on attack, a very different role on defense. And these old Bride clutches where he'd be in a 1v2 or a 1v1 and win it for BDS. BDS doesn't usually allow that to happen anymore. So Bride's numbers are going to look bad. But how many plants did he get down in that first half? 3, was it?
Yes.
2 deaths, 3
Okay,
successful
so this is
plants,
awful.
0 kills. That's a
Ladman.
terrific scoreline for his role.
You're not going to complain about that. Not going to complain about it whatsoever. The real question here is, what are BDS going to be able to do on these starter defenses? Leaky Fact
EFAC.
already looking towards one player pushing into admin. They have a lot of aggressive players. Maybe Bride a bit more passive, but the rest all like to get in their share of gunfights. And so they'll do exactly what I imagine W7M were hoping to do on their defenses, which is slowly lure them into the building and waste that time. On the first floor site especially, they have an unconventional first pick, I would think, for your site, but BDS will go to it nonetheless. That's the game plan here.
Have hope.
Volps is sitting within striking distance of Shaiko, and he gets the read on him. Shaiko saw the drone. They've also spotted EFAC up top. As the Monty of Dots will get in ever closer. Loban dies. BDS striking first. They picked this map. They started on the unfavorable side. Now the hard work for BDS ought to be done. What's the saying? I brought my horse to water. Smooth sailing from here on out.
Exactly. Shouldn't be a problem.
Smooth sailing from here on out.
And
Let's go.
the main hard breacher for W7M.
I've never heard of this saying.
Uses slow peeking bolts on the stairs.
Oh.
W7M is on the board by eliminating Solitov. That is a big kill.
Solitov خلاص ما. Let's go.
W7M need to find and not a lot of time to find them.
Oh, I mean, what do you even do at this point? We see Dots trying to get into the site, but with never really effectively taking that vertical control, BDS could rotate back up, make vertical angles with that super shorty, or even Bride with that shotgun. They're just catching W7M off guard, even in positions they were previously holding.
Catching us off guard. And BDS won. Was it trade as ours?
BDS had players still alive, so they survived it, win the round. W7M called their timeout what feels like ages ago.
Yeah.
No response still. The second half, it looks just like business as usual for BDS. Look at fact, some of the greatest zombie play that we've seen. Notice how he was constantly peeling back. He started off on the very top floor, right? Throwing those Kibas, making some space, seeing the Monty, falling back, never getting into gunfights that he wasn't confident he was going to be able to win. He ended that round on the basement spiral stairs, going all the way from the top of the map to pretty close to the bottom. The
Pretty
way
close
that
to
he
the
was able to find
bottom,
those
yeah.
kills was
Well,
hugely
that's
impactful, and we still saw a great play. Slowing down W7M, stalling them out, making sure that every inch W7M took, it took a lot of time, and they didn't get any picks for it. Playing so safe.
And I want to contrast what we
هلو في glitch ولا ايش السالفة؟
players
Yeah.
trying to creep up right close to the site, get a pick on somebody rotating, catch the defense off guard. When Solitov did it, it was in tandem with an execute that was meant to draw attention
BDS واضح انه
spiral stairs so he could get a kill.
احتمال كبير يفوز عند
The
الماء.
execute's coming on the opposite side of the map, sure, but Volts
هذا
is
يقول
there for
أكيد.
ages before the
ما
execute actually happens. He even reveals his presence by firing shots. So what happens?
حطيت
BDS said,
كم
"Hey, there's a
نقطة
good
على
kill. He's been there for
دبي
45
7
seconds. Yuzu's come flank down the stairs and
وهذه
the 1v1
كان
and we can
بس
trade him
مدينة
out with
ايش
the advantage. That's
شوفون
exactly what happens.
Volts
سبعة
turning
ونص.
himself in on Nook is less than ideal.
حطيت 4500 نقطة على دبي 7
No drone at all if you feel like the element of surprise is what you're looking for.
Maro on the board for round number 8, but don't get too excited. This is unlikely to be a rush. Typically what people do with a Maro on this site, they'll jump in, bait util, jump back out. They're going to go in and out, try to bait out those toxic babes. But unfortunately for them, there are no toxic babes. It's a Tachanka. Bride can deny so much time with this operator. That's why Loban's going down below. He needs to deny that positioning. If he can get a kill onto Bride, force him into a position where he can't deny that plant, that's going to be the win con from W7M. Because there's going to be so much time denial and plant denial. If they just rely on the Amaru, they're unlikely to get it done.
And this is something I'm really concerned about for W7M because BDS showed in the one defense we've seen really good proactiveness at reacting to the positions held by W7M. If Loban reveals himself, but there's too much time between that and the execute, they could send somebody down below, take him out, deal with that vertical pressure entirely. As the bait comes through, it's instead on the first floor for the moment.
The second time Dots has done that, by
He's
the
trying
way.
to bait with the sound, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
There were goo mines strewn about the entry points to this bomb site. It already caught Dash flat-footed. Volps putting up one of his worst beginnings of a map ever in 2 and 7, and there we go. Dots is in, Volps is dead to use this.
Oh my god.
Immediately that Gara hook comes out yet again. Down goes EFAC to Loban. Dodas is in. They don't seem to know this. He swings.
What can I do this? Oh. لا 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 لا. Oh. Okay. Let's go. أخيرا دبي 7 فاز راوند.
Into fights that never occur.
My favorite site to watch in the entire game, I swear. The way they're able to bait out that Tachanka, right? It feels like we're trying to play around with the sound. We get in, we get out, we get in, we get out. Eventually, though, of course, it's Dodez who makes that entry point. Yeah. They heard the Gara hook. They thought, okay, he's going in for a plant. And he did start to plant. I mean, they knew that he was in there with the defuse kit. But that's why they start to swing. And that means Dodez is ready with his gun up. 9 times out of 10, when an Amaru's jumping in that window and committing to the plant, the cover's on the window. Yeah. Because you can't deny that plant without swinging the window guy unless you've got
Covers on the
or
window.
Nitro or something like that. But They were expecting a window player on the cover. The player was already inside, and Dodez, of course, hits every shot that he needs to. 2 huge kills, eventually traded out, but it doesn't matter.
كان متوقع يسوون بلانك بس لا.
It's a clean take of the top floor and very well executed by W7M.
It is, but I really think Dodez is the MVP there because I really like trying to bait with the sound from W7M, also trying to bait with the Candelos on the opposite side. But the ironic thing is that really didn't work. Tachanka has 20 Shumika grenades to start, and by the time the Amaru actually committed, he had only shot 4. The BDS and Bride specifically did not blink in the face of that attack, but really it was that play of putting Dodez inside of the room, swinging ahead of the Amaru. That's what made it work for W7M, because the baiting wasn't all that successful. But once Dodez makes that play, that is what made that round.
We'll see the split site for the first time in this map in round number 9. One of the hardest sites to hold on Consulate. You need to be a very coordinated team to lock this one down. But of course, BDS, they are exactly that. W7M have answered with a blitz, with a finger, with an opening pair right on the solid. That's exactly the recipe for success. They may be rushing this.
What's he doing?
Solid Gold was 8-2 by the way at one point. 10-6 now, so he's cooled off a little bit. Lose the roaming vigil, lose the element of surprise on the side of BDS.
Again, he's been their best attacking player, but on defense, where he struggled.
So good to do.
Ooh, look, we got a player prone in secret right now from BDS, I believe. Yeah, that's Bride on the drone hole. Maybe waiting for somebody to get up to the window, then hop in. The TCS G2, he could light up anybody that tries to take that angle. At the same time, no Electric Claws in pocket though to trick, and Dots might be able to hop ahead in time.
Just wants to shoot the drones, of course, keep that claw hidden as well, but that's not where the rush is coming. They're going straight into the site now.
Oh, and Dod's taking an awful lot of damage. Down goes Shaiko, and the Blitz will chase down.
Shaiko uses motor.
W7M have found that this is maybe an attacker-sided Consulate. Bride doing damage from his position over in secret.
Okay, we've got Efak. Oh my god.
It was him against Volps, and Volps will keep this one close.
Volps.
Dots, a fantastic play on the blitz, and something that Dots has
اوكي
not
يابا
been doing
هذا
so well.
سمعت يقول هذا مو اتاكر سايد حرفيا. الهجوم اللي يفوز اكثر شيء.
Played it 7 times, he's lost 6. Finally,
يا الحين BDS اللي ياخذون تكتيكال تايم اوت.
much better on the Montaigne, but he's able to get aggressive.
Sure.
He's able to make that space for his teammates. Of course, starting off with those opening picks on the top floor, hugely important as well. But these last couple of rounds, the key thing that I've noticed from W7M, they're controlling the pace better. It's certainly easier to do it on attack, but typically, Consulate, a map that leans defender-sided, you wouldn't be expecting to see both teams survive so much in that, have so much success in that early round by controlling the pace. But both BDS and W7M have really found their stride on the offense by controlling the pace of the game.
And I think one way that W7M are really succeeding, and we were concerned about at 5-2, 4-2, we were concerned about the nerves, right? Are WSM maybe starting to shake in this big moment? I think that round's a great example of it not happening, because they get a freebie 5v4, and what happens? They just keep droning. They're like, oh, cool. We're just going to keep setting up if that's all right with you guys. And then they take another minute to fully figure out what kind of rush they want to go for. They didn't get overexcited. They didn't push it too fast. They still did their due diligence to make sure they could convert that 5v4. And that's really, really good that they're not getting nervous.
Momentum held by the Bulls, but BDS wouldn't be talked about as one of the best if they didn't know how to pull back a map that was starting to slip. They still have a 1-round advantage, 5-4, and after the tactical timeout, they will go back to Piano. This ball they started on. Someone looked conventionally at the beginning of the map. They had to play basement, which is odd because that was the starting site for W7M. Maybe some disagreements between these teams as to what the strongest site might be. But for BDS, of course, this is where you try to pull the momentum back. Do you get aggressive after a tactical timeout? Do you start to make a move with maybe jump out, spawn peek, something like that? Or are you just going to play your same strategies? I like this Valkyrie camera strat coming out from Leakitback because this will allow them to play aggro, maybe not against players outside the map, but certainly by playing below with their Nitro Cells, which they brought 3 of, and by making those aggressive swings. Notice as well, no IQ being brought by W7M.
يجيبون
I think especially so far, you talk about will BDS be
لكن
aggressive?
أصعب
So far in these
لكم كما
defenses,
أعتقد.
BDS have got the opening pick in the past 2 rounds. It has been pretty late in the game, way after 2 minutes, way after a minute both times. But when W7M have got it in that previous round, it was within 30 seconds. BDS might have already tried to implement that aggression in the previous round, and maybe it didn't work out. Maybe the Vigil got caught. But here, will we see a bit more forward play from BDS? There's a Cade spotted all the way up top. And the Mara
Okay.
prep right behind it to go hunt
شوف
down any
كده يقول.
roamers on that top floor. Loban needs the element of
نروح قاعد
surprise
يدافعون عن
needs to win
basement.
these fights.
This won't be a bait in and out. This is going to be committing to the top floor. They're not trying to bait it or anything.
أو
The Fuse Kid will have to go
قبل
down to the
أول
main
صح
floor
والله.
instead. But they're droning it, and they see there's not
فيها.
really anybody up here that they've got to worry about. BDS, for the most part, have
كايد
completely retreated
نزل.
back to the main floor. All 5 players on this floor.
Layers to cut through now for W7M, as BDS showing their own style of passive defense that you praised W7M for before round 1 even got underway. I don't think any of us expected a blowout. It did feel like it was trending in that direction, just based on what we knew of these maps, but the attackers are actually the ones with the upper hand at the moment on console. Rarity.
It is certainly rare. It is a bit curious that of all sides it'd be this one, but Loban...
ما شاء
He did. He literally looked towards it as if his instincts were calling just to check that position.
Leaky Fack is sitting inside of Visa and has not been droned out at the current moment.
يفكر لدروب نشوف لدروب توت ما شاء أو استغفر الله كوبس.
It's not the most important part of the map, though, right? I mean, W7M have full top floor control. They're going to go in yellow for the plant, most likely. They throw out their first Candela, but they're not making moves off of it now. They'd like to be able to open up this hatch because it will give them great angles when they eventually have their execute. And now they've also spotted Licky Fack. This is good positioning.
That's what I was worried about, because my big concern was the retake later on. The BDS's big concern is Loban gunning for a second. He might fall, but he's opened things up for W7M.
Shaiko's been very quiet so far, but he needs to make some noise in this round as the 2 better offensive threats statistically for BDS are off of the board. A great opening for W7N. Dash goes down to Shaiko now as Shaiko's second kill for the round. Uses it on the action. The support play is there for BDS2. Dodes and Volps. Volps right now, his numbers underwater, and they sink even farther with Uses collecting the final kill. BDS translate their timeout to a round victory, and they're on map point.
And even though they didn't get an opening pick, it felt like W7M, at least for the first half, had some control of what was going on. Sure, BDS were retreating, but at least they got onto the second floor in relatively decent time. They even were able to react to Licky Fack's flank, and then Loban's able to get the advantage. But the big concern after that, I mean, what do you even happen with that positioning?
Well, we have a call-in from one of the best-dressed people on the desk. With great hair, too. Look at that. Laxing, you saw something in that round you wanted to talk about.
I mean, just W7M as a whole, they need to rely on their aggression here. That first half slipped away from them because they are playing so passive. They are playing that disciplined game where they need to be meeting BDS with this aggression. Even in the round prior to that, the aggression is what got them that round. They were being proactive on those attacks. And this round, it looked like they were going to bring it back, but then they got too aggressive. So I need them to not only be aggressive, but be able to control it at the exact same time, especially with this being on match point.
Thank you very much. So be aggressive, but not too aggressive. Like, be aggressive, but like dial it back a bit. Like, bring it out, dial it back. Very simple stuff.
Maybe a 7, not a 10.
Maybe, yeah, just somewhere average, somewhere in the middle.
It's about controlling the pace again, right? You want to be in control of how these first fights go down. And in that round, W7M, they were in control of the opening couple of fights. They eventually spotted Licky Fack. They had a 2-man advantage. How do you convert, though? If you can't convert with full map control in a 3v5 situation, what are you going to be doing on these next couple of rounds? Because it's only going to get harder from that. That looked like the easiest round for W7M, their best situation that they had found themselves in the late round, and still, Shaiko finds 2. BDS don't fall at all on that round, and it just feels like W7M are struggling to crack these strong sites.
And see, that's the funny thing, because it did seem easy for them to convert, but by the end of that round, they only had 2 drones left as they went in for that execute, and it was a lot of those site positions that had gone undroned. Yellow stairs, Smoke holding the cross from the art run-in, takes down the Ying. Players holding angles inside of the site. That could still hurt W7M here, because we are on basement now. Look, we're down below. What is this known for? It's a labyrinth on that bottom floor. So many corners and server rooms on the bottom floor. W7M don't drone, that same problem could hit them here.
Could you say lots of nooks and crannies?
Don't even get me started on the crannies.
Already opening up from server. This is a fast push in from Dots. He droned it out, knew that there was nobody here. That's good drone work as well. Finding out Licky Fack. They've got an angle actually in the Visa hatch, but nobody's watching it. The Monty was just holding up above to make sure there was no aggressive plays. There's no way Licky Fack gets a shot from down here, right?
He's kind of trapped at this point.
Maybe.
Try to ice him out as there goes one of the Zoto canisters. It'll slow down Dots for a second as these 2 teams exchange words with one another. Solitov eliminating Lobin.
صدف مع الله يعني.
For W7M is no more.
زين.
Volps on the Monty means he will have a negligible impact when it comes to kills, but plenty of utility work. Right now, he's chilled in the basement, looking to get closer to the bomb site, but slowed down by this BDS defense. Dots eliminating uses gives W7M 1 kill to equalize numbers with a minute left.
That's my big concern, though. They are just barreling right into this lineup. They've got Dash on the breach to at least control some of that backside pressure, but pushing forward, BDS have had all the doorways shut down and cut off, especially with those Zodos, though they're no longer a factor. Now we see a rotate. There's somebody actually on the top floor. W7M get this kill here. They're going to feel a whole lot more confident.
Nitro Cell goes out. It takes Donez down. Volps is still there. He's got 1 kill so far on this round. The audience chanting for blood. 1 more kill. The stakes for BDS. Volps now just toiling with this angle. A hopeless and thankless proposition. No diffuser in hand. Not much right now for W7M. They started to put in a valiant effort for a comeback, but maybe a little bit too late.
اوكي. BDS فازوا في الماب الأول.
Expect BDS to lose this map. It's their home turf. It's their best map. They win it in every BO5 they play. Not a surprise, but a good showing in some of those rounds, at least from W7M. The question is, can they keep that momentum, or are W7M going to be able to stand tall on their own pick?
That's what I was going to say. W7M were able to at least show they had some fight in them, but when you go 4-2 on your attacking side on Consulate, it seems inevitable you're going to take it in the end.
Well, they did. BDS off to a great start. The desk will want to break down map number 1.
Lynx, you're 100% right. They showed some fight in the end, but it's not enough. BDS, just too much class for 1 map. Lax, that one had us on the edge of our seats from start to finish. But what about that BDS attack?
That attack, I mean, you have to give them their flowers. They were just doing such a good job at finding the gap in all of W7M's setup. Whether they were exploiting it or they were just taking the map sites or not taking them, they were always forcing W7M in an unwinnable position, catching them on their rotates. When they would catch them on the rotates, go up in that man advantage, they would almost immediately then slowly start to constrict that site and leave W7M in unwinnable positions.
That's when you recognize a great team. A team that
طيب
obstacles, but rather a team that will seize an opportunity if they see it.
خلينا نبعد شوي عن الاي سبورتس. اوكي. خلي سكرين يا شيخ حوالي. نكتب البث بس المهلة واحدة. حطه هنا. خلنا نشوف ريفيل بهالنا مرة ثانية. اوكي انا شفته مرة والحين بشوف مرة ثانية بس عشان ابي يعني والله ما ادري شو اقول يعني مستحيل لا خلينا نعيده ريفيل بانل ابي الحماس يرجع
Hello and welcome to Operation Collision Point, the 4th and final season of Year 9 of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm your host Camille Salazar-Hadaway, here with a jam-packed reveal show. We've got a ton of new features to talk about, including some big player protection news. Now, let's welcome Creative Director Alexander Karpazis to give you a full overview of Operation Collision Point.
This is Operation Collision Point, and it's our grand finale of seasons in this year. It ends with a bang, and it brings to the table everything we've been working on together this past Year 9. We can't wait for you to get your hands on these new features. It starts with crossplay. We are allowing PC players and console players to finally play together with the crossplay feature, so that wherever you are, whatever platform, you can play together with your friends. You're going to see the reputation system come online with all of the feedback that you've provided us in the past. We are remastering Blackbeard, and he is the true point man in the Siege roster. Balancing teams bring some balancing changes too, not just for shields in general, but some other operators that you might see. We're so thankful for all of you who participated in the beta of Siege Cup. It launches for everyone in Season 4. so everybody can play Siege in tournament mode. You'll be able to playtest all of what we announce next week and let us know your feedback through our 6 Fix. So stick with us, we have a lot to cover, and stay tuned.
With Operation Collision Point, friends who play on console and PC can now join together in lobbies to team up, hop into matches, and then crouch, teary-eyed, over each other's fallen operators while solemnly vowing to get the refrag. Here's UX designer Abhishek Agarwal with the details on this crossplay update.
As we introduce PC and consoles crossplay, we know that fair play, especially cheating, is a concern. So we are excited to confirm that Mousetrap V2 will be a part of this feature to keep things balanced. We'll share more details about Mousetrap in our next segment, but for now, we are excited to bring crossplay between all platforms in Siege. Console players will have 3 pools to play in: the platform-specific pool, the consoles-only pool, and the PC crossplay pool. They'll be able to select that in the crossplay matchmaking setting.
يعني بدي اختار هنا ويمدينا ارجع ابي اشوف بس الكلام مكتوب
They'll be able to select that in the crossplay matchmaking.
اللي هو crossplay matchmaking بيس من تحت. بدي طفيه انه اوكي إذا طفاه يدخل فقط مع الناس اللي من الخدمة نفسها. يعني مثلا انت في بلاي ستيشن اذا طفيت هذا فقط اللي تدخل مع الناس اللي في سيرفرات بلاي ستيشن. اذا فعلته حق كونسولز اونلي راح يدخلك مع كل الناس اللي في الكونسولز الاكس بوكس والبلاي ستيشن. اذا اخترت بي سي والكونسولز راح يمديك اسمه انه تدخل مع ناس في البي سي وايضا ناس مع كونسول. وانه هذا الاوبشن راح يطفي اذا انت في سكواد وفي واحد
setting in the options menu. To ensure a safe experience for console players in the PC pool, we have made console players indistinguishable from other PC players. Players will be able to invite each other seamlessly across PC and console platforms through Ubisoft Connect. Console players will be able to progress both their PC rank as well as their console rank. Console players will be able to progress both their PC rank as well as their console rank by playing directly on consoles in the relevant pools.
The Year 9 plans we revealed in Sao Paulo earlier this year included a lot of player protection features, and this season is the culmination of all those plans. Alexander Karpazis and UX designer Roland Poe are here to give you the full rundown.
With the changes to crossplay, we're looking at Mousetrap now. Now that keyboard and mouse is allowed to play on console with PC players, we will be re-examining the way that we tackle players who try to circumvent that. We have a new 3-strike system that detects if you're playing with mouse and keyboard in the wrong player pool. And on the 3rd strike, you'll be moved to the PC pool for 90 days. Our machine learning model is constantly improving with players playing the game. So we're becoming more and more accurate over time. And the fact that we are releasing this now means that we're confident in the system detecting the right players. Cheat match cancellation is and they're banned. You will see the notification pop up and the match will be canceled. The player will be removed from the game and every legitimate player will not be punished for canceling the match.
Throughout Year 9, we've worked on the reputation system refresh. That means we've changed everything top to bottom, front to back. And everything starts with the actions that are tracked in-game. We're introducing a new concept called units. And these are standardized ways of understanding actions and act as the building block for your reputation. The goal of the reputation system is to catch recurrent and highly toxic players, guide and reward players who are showing positivity. And the way we're achieving that is looking over a long period of time to really understand a pattern of players' behaviors. Over the past 100 matches in 90 days, what has a player been up to? This means that a single errant grenade throw that bounces away you didn't expect isn't going to send your reputation plummeting. What will is repeated patterns of disruptions. We're introducing a new visualization called the standing map. This will show you your positive and negative units, as well as exactly where you are in the standing. So how close are you to achieving that next upper bracket? One final note is that with the launch of the refresh reputation system, everybody's...
يعني في عندك negative و positive units. دي شوف فعلا عنده 105 positive و5 negative. ليه كل هالتعقيد طيب؟
Scores is getting reset.
Allah.
That means you'll start the season with 0 positive units and 0 negative units. We really want you to engage with the system, understand it from the beginning. You helped us create this refresh system, and we'll be listening to your feedback once again, and together helping to create a safe and positive play space for everyone. Toxic communication is never acceptable. Full stop. And with Year 9 Season 4, Rainbow Six is taking a strong stance against toxic communication with the introduction of automated text chat moderation.
Text chat moderation.
Preventative was to in this player sends multiple flags for the rest of the session, they will face the voice for 20 match penalty. Pattern of disruptive communication, they will face the preventative mute penalty, meaning they will be muted in both text and voice for 20 matches. We know that varying people are going to have different opinions on what is acceptable and not acceptable. And this is also a new system, but we're your feedback.
Okay.
And believe me, we have some exciting things.
لحظة في الخلفية هذه يعني أبي أعرف ليش حاطين في واقفة في ما شو اسم المكان هذا ما أعرف عربي الحين خلاص نسيت بس الزبدة يعني ليه كذا والخلفية حاطين شنو حطت وقفة هنا وراها شيء وماي وحركات قارب ما أحسه يعطي جو السيزون من جد يعني مو بزي السيزون اللي قبل توين شيلز السيزون الثالث طبعا هذا مايسترو إليت اوكي الحين موجود هذا الإليت.
Even on vacation he's so cool. Next up we've got a peek under the hood. Even on vacation he's so cool.
توني لاحظ انه تقصد
to the matchmaking system that live content director Christopher Budgeon is going to walk you through.
Contesting.
This season, we're bringing 2 new huge improvements. One is team rebalancing, and the other is Phantom Player. Phantom Player is a new way that we calculate skill of a squad. How that works is that it takes 2 aspects into account. One is the size of the squad. So are you 2, 3, 4 players within a squad, or a full stack, for example, because you're giving call-outs, you're playing and coordinating with each other, maybe getting a refrag off of each other. These are all elements that players who are playing separately are not able to do, certainly not as easy. Another is the difference of skill within that squad. So for example, if you're a champion pairing with a copper, that would be a large difference in skill. If a champion pairs with 4 coppers to drive down their average skill, it's not really fair to anybody in that lobby. With the Phantom Player, that will add a lot of skill to that group, and they'll ultimately be playing in a more fair lobby. We like to call this feature Phantom Player because it's as if there's a 6th player on the team in terms of skill. Phantom Player will be used within all of our playlists, including the Siege Cup, our most competitive playlist. We're also bringing team rebalancing. Now this is something we've been testing on live in Year 9 Season 3, and we're ready to have this fully rolled out for Year 9 Season 4. What team rebalancing does is it looks at all the players on each team and just rebalances them to give an improved way to calculate the skill of both teams. So which squad should a team go to? Should it go on Team A or Team B? Now with the team rebalancing feature will be an improved way to make sure that the 2 teams are as close in skill as possible. So we're able to add these matchmaking improvements because we've actually restructured our matchmaking component of our engine. And that's why we were able to bring skill initialization last season, big improvements this season. We have more coming next season with dynamic matchmaking.
season
Looking
جاي
for
وين؟
more matchmaking improvements as we continue
اللي
to
بعد
evolve.
يقصد chapter X.
Operation Collision Point marks the arrival of the most competitive playlist yet, the Siege Cup. If you're
Siege
ready to
Cup,
see what your squad can really do, this is the place to do it. Game designer Robert Cole will give you all the details as
We celebrate the Siege Cup. اللي احنا شفناه جامد. اللي شفناه طبعا.
Participating in the Siege Cup beta. Coming next season, we will be inviting everyone above clearance level 50, including console players, to Siege Cup, so that everyone will be able to participate. We want Siege Cup to be the most competitive moment in the game, so matches in Siege Cup will have 8 rounds instead of the 6 of ranked, together with a role swap after the 4th round. Apart from that, the map selection of Siege Cup will be handpicked in advance, so that players will know in which map they will compete
بتعرف الماب
days before
اللي
each Siege
بتلعب
Cup.
فيه قبل
As we
لا
announced previously, we'll be bringing our new Phantom player algorithm to Siege Cup. This means that teams with big skill disparities will be placed in much harder brackets. The release of Siege Cup is a big milestone for us, but we're not stopping here. We have a big list of features and improvements to make it the best version possible.
it's time to take a look at this season's bouncing update. And here's what we've got on the docket.
Bouncing.
Sen, Ying, and every operator
شوف
uses a
Sens
shield.
and you can have
How will they be
upgrade with the
effective?
shield.
That's what game director Joshua Mills is here to tell you.
والله أنا بصراحة أنا أتمنى إنه يعني تكلموا بزيادة عن ثاندر عن يينج لأن يعني
Kicking off season 4 of year 9, we're
ما
going
أدري
right
أحس
after a problem that we're already seeing in our community,
عدينا
which is
بسرعة.
our ballistic shields. So
في البداية
fundamentally,
بيتكلم
they're
عن
performing in a more
shields ولا
aggressive state than we intended, and we want to go in and address that.
So what are we doing? 1. Melee priority will now be properly respected. For example, a player melees a shield causing a guard break. The shield user will no longer be able to cancel that shield break with their own shield bash. 2. Consecutive guard breaks will now have a stacking benefit. That defender can now increase the intensity of the guard break exponentially. Meaning if Monty does nothing, you will be able to achieve a 100% guard break opening even on an extended shield. 3. We no longer ignore guard break actions due to
يا أخي إيش هذا اللي فوق مدة المدة اللي فوق ما أدري أحسه شيء غريب
the
يعني
animation.
3000
For
أو
example,
5000
you melee a blitz
هنا
and the
ثانية
guard break animation
أو
plays.
دقيقة.
But as the shield is about to settle back down, you melee it again. Previously, that second melee would not have connected and the guard break animation would have completed with the shield settling. But now, that melee will connect and the guard break will be reset and have that increased intensity as mentioned before.
Okay.
Now jumping onto the shield mechanics themselves. Suppress the Fire is a tool to stop shield users
إيه
from
صارت
sprinting
الحين
and closing the
ذا
distance.
صح.
Suppression will now require less bullets to
Less bullets to trigger. Okay. أيوة هنا.
not receiving any additional damage. The shield bash damage will also be reduced. We're taking it from 65 damage all the way to 0. We are realigning to a core principle in Siege that if you want to be lethal, you must be able to receive lethal. Being lethal means being vulnerable. The last change is that we're modifying the shield collision detection when shield bashing to more closely follow the detection used for knife melees. This will eliminate some odd moments when a shield bash hits when used for knife melees. This will eliminate some to more closely follow the detection used for knife melees. This will eliminate some odd moments when a shield bash hits when it otherwise shouldn't have.
Ying.
We're also tackling Ying in Season 4. We're going after that frustration around the fact that she can almost instantaneously flash a sight and enter it all at once. What we want to do here is require Ying to have a little more precision on how she deploys her Candelas, but also give our defenders a chance to react to them. It may be known or may not be known, but you can actually shoot the Candelas before they go off. And defenders will now have a bigger window in order to do that.
bigger window يعني توقعت إنه إذا ماتت اليون كانديلا راح يكون في مدة أطول وبعدين تتفعل. حتى لو حط على
In Season
آخر
4,
شيء
we're looking in
3.
this ends. They've had a low presence in the game since they were introduced. We're looking to add a little more
Same.
functionality and utility to the gadget for more strategic play. The Rue. What can it do now? One, Sens can toggle it on and off at will.
Get the
So
few
if the
shovel.
wall's deployed, they can go ahead and turn it off. They can even deploy the gadget off and then turn it on whenever they feel like it. Additionally, the Rue emits a light wall, so it's not a smoke. All gadgets that can normally see through smoke will no longer be able to see through the wall.
اوكي.
As we continue to
وايضا
enhance
صار انه اي جادجت شو اسمه تشوف منه هذا الجدار الحين لا. الجدار هذا حرفيا زي كأنه جدار فقط. ما يمديك تشوف منه بالكاميرات كذا، مو مثل قنابل السموك.
Siege, we're introducing something that will make
فأتوقع يعني معناته الورد ما يمدي يسوي
All
كونتر.
gadgets that can normally see through smoke will no longer be able to see through the wall.
يعني حتى وورد بعد
As we continue to enhance
يعتبر خلاص مو
Siege,
بكونتر.
we're introducing something that will make every match count even more. The
Okay.
team is rolling out the beginnings of a new progression system to
Will,
track milestones and achievements.
badges and career.
Some UI artist Gaston Rojas.
long-term progression هذا اللي احنا شفناه بس نعيدها هسه.
Of introducing the badge system to Siege is to reward your long-term engagement by earning badges through in-game achievements. There will be badges for everyone, no matter your
اللي مكتوب
earning
هنا.
badges through in-game achievements.
ها شنو ذا؟ تشوفون اللي الحين قاعد اشوف ولا يمكن مو بوضح بسبة ذا. دقيقة والله لا اكبر شوف هنا باللي انا شفته مكتوب هنا مو بوضح يمكن بس خلني اجيب الماوس عشان تشوفون وايش السالفة. ايوه مكتوب هنا شو صار مو واضح. ها اوكي الحين هنا مكتوب طبعا هذا قائمة نفسهم زي ما تغير هنا البلاي هنا البوس هنا مكتوب هيرفورد لوست باكس ذي عنها شيء مرة قديم وما سمعت عنه او انه هذا شيء جديد ما ادري والله مكتوب هنا هيرفورد لوست باكس ف اسوي له سكرين شوت احتياطي. اوكي يعني شيء عجيب بشوف بسأل الناس بعدين بعد هذا البث.
There will be badges for
Hillfoot
everyone,
Lost Packs.
no matter your skill level, but mastery is highly rewarded.
وطبعا خلينا نرجع هنا خلينا على الأقل
Reward your long everyone, no matter
حل شوي في يعني باجز حق شخصيات عندك سليج وعندك يونيفرسال عامة الباجز يعني عامة مو بس حق شخصيات. Get ace victories and win standard quick match والله هذه شكلها أصعب واحدة.
your
Tier
skill
4
level,
بعد.
but mastery is highly rewarded. To unlock badges and upgrade them, you must complete different challenges. There are elimination challenges that require kills
عندك تسوي
or
upgrade.
assist with certain weapon loadout. There are also badges that you can unlock by playing
معليش ما عدلت بس يب دقيقة خلنا نجيب transform transform fit to screen
playing with a full permanent squad. Others that you can unlock on your own by making plays and
Fair.
using game tools like rappelling or drones. For now, there will be 22 badges and more on the way,
Yeah,
with
shame
4
badge.
different tiers to upgrade: bronze, silver, gold,
Bronze,
and
silver,
chrome.
gold,
The
and
more
chrome.
you progress on the challenges, the fancier the badges you will unlock.
Okay.
Career is a new player centralized hub
حبة وشي صار حين عندنا فوق هنا هو اللوكر اللي احنا الحين عنده لا هنا اللوكر هنا شنو هنا
that will unlock.
Career
is a new player centralized hub
اوكي هوم اوبريتورز لوكر والحين عندك كاريرز وهذا الكاريرز اللي راح يكون فيها بدأ قائمة الواتش اللي بدك تشوف فيها ريبيات الحين موجودة في قائمة كارير. تروح على كارير بدك تشوف أكثر من شيء. عندك في بلايز بدك تشوف الجيم اللي لعبته، بدك تشوف هنا خسرت تاريخ 10 هذا قبل شهر موجود، هل مصور يعني كده من زمان. الرانك حقك بدك تشوف، وأيضا بدك تشوف الكم بوق على الرانك اللي بعده، وأيضا يمديك تشوف الريبيتيشن حقك كله من الكارير. يمديك تشوف الريبيتيشن حقك، ويمديك تشوف positive impact applied، وهنا stats الإحصائيات راح تجي مكتوب coming soon، ما بعد تجي بس راح تجي قريبا، واللي يعني الشابتر الجاي تجي. خلنا نكون صريحين ويعني اوكي
that organize replays, rank, reputation, and future stats into one place. This is just the beginning, so expect more additions to track your progress.
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
Once a feared point man, this operator has seen less action in recent
أنا
years
أشوفه مع
as the
ثاني
game
جيم
has
بلاي ما
evolved.
حسيت إنه
But now, it's time to bring him back into the spotlight. Joshua Mills will explain everything about
Joshua
Blackbeard's
Mills رجعنا
remaster.
ولا
But first, Blackbeard makes his triumphant return to Siege Tales.
Siege Tales. نشوفه مرة ثانية. هل إحنا شفناه بس خلينا نشوفه. بس يعني الحق Siege Tales. Siege Tales
First
أساسا
off,
هذه
Season 4, we're introducing our second remaster of the game. Now, somehow you all figured this out. I don't know how you figured it out, who told you or whatnot. But yes, it is in fact Blackbeard.
أبي أعرف هل ذا الشخص واضح إنه ما يعرف زين اللي إحنا ذا حاطين من أول ما جاء الشابتر التاسع، حاطين أوبريتور ماسا، حاطين علم أمريكا، وقاعدين يلمحون من السيزون الأول من الشابتر التاسع، ويحطون في الكوميك بوكس وكذا عن بلاك بيرد، وإنه في السيزون الثالث بعد السيزون اللي قبل تشوف إنه بلاك بيرد الشيلز الحقين عطوه حق ميرا عشان يسوي الابجريد. فيعني اكيد احنا راح نعرف. ما حد يقول شلون عرفتوا؟ ما ادري هل في احد قال لكم ولا ذا؟ شنو بعد يا ابوي؟
In the past, we had issues right out of the gate with the fact that blocking a one-shot headshot in a one-shot headshot game is a serious problem. But additionally, being able to be fully protected and be lethal at the same time is another big problem.
How did
being
you
able
know?
to address both those is what we're doing with this remaster.
هنا بيعرف. أول شيء بلاك بيرد ما تغيرت صورته، في ناس يقولون تغير صورته على نفس الصورة ما تغيرت. حلوين. وعلى حسب اللي قاعد أشوفه يعني إنه دقيقة خليني أجيب الماوس أحسن. هنا بدك زي خيار الفري لوك، إنه بدك تسوي فري لوك في أي مكان يعني توقف فيه بدك تسوي فري لوك. أيضا هنا بريتش، بس ليش بريتش؟ ليه ما ذا؟ لأن هذا خاصية حق
New gameplay, we've never seen this before. He's the guy
مش
that
موجودة
goes
في
first in the
الشاشة
door,
يعني أحس
or
المفروض
through the
يلقاه
wall.
في المكان.
That's what the Hull Adaptive Shield can do now. Blackbeard can actually approach a soft wall and burst through it, taking that ground and running in first while leading his team. We want to really adapt the way he plays inside a building and how we can open up new lines of traversal. One of our key objectives with Blackbeard was to make sure he was the point man. We want him to be in the front line of the fire.
قاعد هنا بعتوني لحظة التغيير إنه إذا في أحد ميت يطاحن إكس أحمر كذا.
Was to make sure he was the point man.
Nice.
We want him to be in the front line of
Quality
the
of
fire.
life.
That means he needs to be protected. Essentially, when Blackbeard wants to go combat ready, you simply ADS. And when you do that, the glass panel will slide down and reveal your target, but also expose Blackbeard. Now, keep in mind that when Blackbeard can go lethal, he can receive lethal. The shield will drop, the gun will go in place, and he'll be able to be lethal, but he can receive damage. He'll be protected in the chest area, but of course, we all know where everyone's aiming. Reloads will not be safe reloads with Blackbeard. He'll need to take the time to reload in cover in order to make sure that he can do that while not exposing himself. He used to be the rappel king, being able to be on rappel, hold long sights, and be protected. We're bringing that back. Obviously with the change that when he goes lethal, that shield comes down and he can, in fact, be headshotted back or take damage back.
هنا نتكلم عن بابيل، عن لما ده
Hold long sight, do that while not exposing himself. He used to be the repel king, being able to be on repel, hold long sights, and be protected. We're bringing that back. Obviously, with the change that when he goes lethal, that shield comes down,
يعني
and he
راح
can, in fact,
يضل نفس الشيء.
be headshotted back.
What؟ دقيقة، يعني يسوي بابيل وهو وهو متسلق في الجدار، أيضا شيلد حقه بيكون موجود. أبي أعيد كلامه، أعيده مليون مرة أبي أفهم.
We're bringing that back.
دقيقة، أعيده.
Repel king, being able to be on repel, hold long sights, and be protected. We're bringing that back. Obviously, with the change that when he goes lethal, that shield comes down, and he can, in fact.
When he goes lethal, that shield comes down. يعني يقول لك إذا صار lethal الشيلد حقه راح ينزل ويطلق، فمعناته إن دي أول شخصية نشوفها إنه تسوي بابيل وفي نفس الوقت الشيلد موجود. شيء عجيب صراحة يعني.
Be headshotted back or take damage back. Well, as far as getting up and meleeing Blackbeard, I highly recommend you don't do this because he still has all the same functionality of our ballistic shields. He can sure as hell melee you back. Custom animations, new models, new gadget, you name it, it's all going in. And we wanted to make this one hell of a complete package. If you want to bring some serious firepower and some protection, you bring Blackbeard.
And there you have it.
بس هذا هو. 20 ثواني 20 دقيقة ولا كان 20 دقيقة.
Collision Point is set to bring some of the most exciting updates and changes we've seen this year. From crossplay to player protection and the remaster of Blackbeard, we're excited for you to experience all the new content. It's been an incredible journey through year 9. Now, gear up for Operation Collision Point, and we'll see you in game.
بس هذا هو الكل. خلنا حل بلاك ريماستر. اوكي يعني اذا بقيم ريماستر هل هو احسن من بلاك بيرد الحوالي؟ هنا السؤال. يبي له تفكير والله، يعني ما احس مرة واو. يعني انا لما شفت التريلر CGI تريلر حسبت انه يعني يمدي يطفي ويشغل هذا، انه في اي وقت يعني يكون شيلد شو اسمه يمدي ينزله ويرفع على كيف. بس لا، اذا بينزله لازم شو اسمه ينزله ويأي بنفس الوقت، يعني يصير شو اسمه ليثل ايضا اكيد يعني ذا. واذا هو رافعه ما يمدي يعني يطلق هو رافع. هلا انا كنت احسب انه الشيلد مرفوع وذا، حسبت انه يمدي يطلق كذا من شلون، بس طلع والشيلد نيرف بصراحة. يعني ايش اللي كان شيلد بريكس والميلي هذا بصراحة شيلد نيرف مرة يعني فرق بين قبل والحين. صراحة إذا تسوي تطيح واحد ما تذبحه على طول أو تنوكه، لا حرفيا 0 دمج، بس طيح على الأرض بس. فيكون إنك تطيح مثلا على الأرض وخويك يذبحه. بس إذا أنت تسوي له كيو شو تسوي؟ تطيح على الأرض لين ما أخوياك يجون تسوي سبون يعني. فشيلد نيرف بصراحة 10 من 10 حلو. البلاك بيرد ريماستر ما أدري يعني أحسه. هل القديم أحسن؟ لا ما أحسن، الجديد أحسن، بس ما مرة يعني ذا. فإذا تقييم هو قاعد أفكر بصراحة يعني. أوكي تقييمه 7.5 من 10. بلاك بيرد ريماستر هذا 10 من 10. ريبيتيشن سيستم ريفرش ما اهتم بالريبيتيشن سيستم كتير، وحتى في ناس واجد مثلي أيضا ما يهتمون به. بس بصراحة يعني كتغيير حق ريبيتيشن سيستم كذا 10 من 10 حلو. كونسول تو يعني تلعب مع البي سي وكذا وانت في الكونسول بصراحة شيء يعني ما أدري هل أنا ما حستعمل هذه الخاصية. أجرب ألعب على البي سي أو مع الناس اللي في البي سي نجرب. وطبعا في حق الشغل اللي في البي سي وكذا، فما ندري هل بيكون ذا عندك تسوي شغلات مع الناس اللي في البي سي ولا. المهم وعندك سيج كاب البيتا راح خلاص يخلص البيتا راح ينزل بشكل كلي بشكل كامل. خاصية الفانتوم بلاير أو ميزة الفانتوم بلاير إنه شفناها يعني إنه قيمة سادسة أو لاعب سادس بس كقيمة هو ويعني حق سكيل ديسبيرتي كذا مثلا زي ما قال المثال إنه يكون أنت تشامبيون ومعك 4 كوبرز هذا ما يصلح فبيكون في لاعب سادس كذا شيء حلو يعني شيء حلو. وأيضا في حق شو اسمه يا ربي ايش كان ريبالانسينج اي انه حق ريبالانسينج احنا نعرف هذا حلو ما ادري ما احس قيمة ما ادري ليش قيمة. باجز الكارير بصراحة 10 من 10 10 من 10 بصراحة. باجز الكارير مرة حلوة وهذا الشيء المفروض موجود من اللعبة يعني ذا. أنا كان في بالي إنه هل الإحصائيات اللي من قبل القتلات وذا وكل شيء كذا هل راح ينحسب بذا بس شكله ما راح ينحسب لازم من سيزن جاي راح ينحسب. ماستر بصراحة أوكي حلو يعني ما بعدين في الأخير ذا إنه بس إذا أنت سويت دخلت ماوس كيبورد كذا راح يحولك على سيرفرات بي سي مدة مدري كم 90 يوم. طبعا يعني يكون عندك 3 سترايكات يعني سترايك الأول سترايك الثالث إذا تلعب على الكونسل. وأنا أحس إن المفروض يعني إذا شوك تلعب ماوس كيبورد خلاص ما ذا ما بشي أنا شقول قبل لا يشوفونك تلعب ماوس كيبورد ذا لازم يطورون من التقنية حقتهم أو البروجرامينج حقهم حق إنه كيف يكتشفون اللي بيلعب بالماوس كيبورد. لأن حتى مع السيزن وين من شابتر 3 سيزن أول قايلين إنه في ماوس كذا ونزل وذا وبعدين كل شوي يطورون فيه ولا وين كل شوي يطورون فيه ما لاحظ التغيير يعني. هذا آخر هذا سيزن الثالث الحين موجودين فيه أشوف ناس يلعبون ماوس كيبورد وذا وحتى في البثوثي بعد بس مو في البث اللي من قبل قبل. المهم البالانسينج يعني نادي اوكي يعني ايش اللي كان في بالانسينج صارت المدة ذا اوكي حلو. سنس صار الحين يمديك تطفي وتشغل في الجدران وايضا صار اي شخص يسوي كاونتر حق سنس باستخدام انه كاميرات وكذا ما راح يمديه. عندك واردن وذا الكاميرات البولزبروف الفالكري ما له دخل قصدي اللي هو فما عندك تسوي كاونتر بتطفي وتشغلها شيء حلو يعني يمديك قبل تميها تطفيها بعدين تميها أتوقع أو يمكن لازم تميها أول بعدين يمديك تطفيها وتشغلها عاد ما أدري والله بس أتوقع إنه يمديك تطفيها وتشغل بعدين تميها على حسب اللي شفته. أوكي فايش كان فيه ثاندربيرد ما قال عنها شيء. الثاندربيرد شخصية يعني أوكي تجيب هيل وكذا وكنا نعرف إن دوك أحسن لكن ثاندربيرد يعني كفكرة إنه تحط الكونستيشن وكذا وتهيل الناس اللي معاك أوكي حلوة ما جميلة بس يمديهم يحسنون منها شوي. فقالوا إنه في السيزون هذا راح يكون في تغيير حق ثاندربيرد. هذا في البانل اللي الحين جونا ولا طوها ولا شيء والله يعني. المهم هذا البالانسينج في هذا السيزون طبعا في طول السيزون راح يكون عندنا بالانسينج ابديت اللي احنا شفناه في يوم تقوت يعني قصدي احصائيات كذا اتوقع على انه الناس اللي يلعبون فوق رانك انرولد وكذا اتوقع صح او ان البالانسينج ابديت اللي احنا شفناه راح ينزل بعد. سيج كاب ليش كاتبين بيتا؟ هل هو يعني كان الفا يعني الحين بيتا؟ ما لا اتوقع يعني انه يعني الى الان بيتا بس بينزل في الكونسل اتوقع كذا. المهم 2 سكنز اليت زي كل سيزن و2 ايفنتس. الفنت الاول بيكون شو اللي بيكون اساسا والله من جد بيعرف. اوكي بيكون في ايفنت حق كريسمس اللي هو فريز فور اول اوكي هذا معروف. الايفنت اللي قبل الكريسماس شنو بيكون؟ هل لسه بيكون في ايفنت قبل الكريسماس؟ ما بيكون فيه. اتوقع بعد الكريسماس بيكون الايفنت. اوكي بس شنو بيكون الله اعلم. هل بيكون يا ريت والله من بويز ماجيك ولا الايفنتات القديمة اللي ما جامدة، بس لا ما اتوقع. يمكن يجيبون لك اللي جابوه من نيو بلاد ايش كان هو ما ادري، او يمكن يجيبون ميوت بروتوكول ما ادري والله. المهم اللي هو وهنا شيء مهم Operation Collision Point Test Server next week. يعني السالفة تجريبي الأسبوع الجاي. قل يا الأسبوع الجاي يا رب إنه ذا يكون يمدينا نشوف ثاندربيرد اللي تغير فيه. وأيضا يعني أتذكر مرة سيزن قبل أتوقع قالوا Test Server next week، بس في الأخير Test Server هذا موجود، فما أدري يمكن أيضا نفس الشيء اليوم ما أدري. واللايف ريليس ديسمبر 3 فيب. احنا الحين بدي نشوف انه احنا في نوفمبر 19 فيب. المهم ابي ادخل على تويتر، يعني بدخل عليهم واشوف. طيب هذا اللي شفناه. We are aware of the issue that prevented United ها؟ What؟ شايفين المكتوب هنا؟ تكفى والله. Oh my god. يقولون انه التشارمز اللي مفروض تاخذها انت يعني من اذا تبعت البث على تويتش وكذا مفروض تاخذها انت ذا، بس في ناس تتوقع دخلوا اللعبة وما خذوها. فبعد ما اشوف كذا راح يعطون هذه التشارم حق كل اللاعبين all players. والله اوكي يعني ما حد وذيل اللي ما تابعوا راح ياخذوه. المهم نسوي ريبوست ليش لا. هذا الفاينلز Operation Collision Point. هل يمدينا اوكي عندهم باتش نوتس او بلا صح ارتكل كاتبين عنه. ما في شيء ردلوه. حتى الموقع حقهم ايوه. شنو بعد forever. والله يا ابوي السيزون ذا كله بكبره مثل نيو بلود، بس ما لهالدرجة غريب. طيب لو اروح على مثلا هنا rainbow6.com مثلا بس كذا يعني. ايوه mid season world map updates. هذا اللي شفناه. حاول على انجلش بس كذا. بدي نشوف latest news. ابي اشوف هل كتبوا مقال عن ما كتبوا ولا شيء. طب دقيقة اتذكر انا شفته هنا في الديسكورد يطولون، بس دقيقة والله لا لقي. دقيقة طفي الشاشة بس عالسريع. اوكي لقيت بس خلاص. هذا ده اللي احنا المفروض يعني a roadmap update. Each season we provide a roadmap updates minimum. Okay. Here's nerf confirmed for E9 season 4. Okay. Phantom player انه اوكي يب هذا شكله console to PC crossplay 1.0 بعد ها mouse top implementation ايش اللي اوكي حق اللي شفناه يب console to PC crossplay will enable PC and console okay cheater match cancellation هذا شفناه Siege Cup beta Siege Cup while remaining at its speed اوكي راح يضيف البيتا بس بينزل في الكونسول زي ما اوكي يعني انا كنت فاهم غلط بعدين فهمت عليه الحين فهمت عليه strikeout are frequently asked questions بس بعدين نشوفه Ying Sense و Thunderbird كاتبين هنا بعد على الخطين Ying reducing defender frustration strategic plays هذا okay Thunderbird and adjustment for Thunderbird will help her become a more valuable asset for the team. More valuable ما أدري شلون يعني شو اللي يغيرون فيها. Texture motivation Teach system the Match 1.0 راح ينزل في شابتر X اللي server allocation based on policy of players data. Allowing our playlist team to focus on their resources on Phantom player. Okay, nice. هذا طبعا قبل لا ينزل في البانل بصراحة اوكي بس خليني اشوف ال FAQ هنا السريع ابي اعرف بس شيء واحد يا ريت لعني لو ايوه انجليزي can my team participate on consoles during the Siege Cup beta is available we're new to the it's only available on PC having a smaller pool of players اوكي طيب بصراحة يعني ما ادري ايش اقوله ما ادري ايش اللي اساسا المفروض اقوله يعني والله يعني دقيقة بس خلني شيل هذا بصراحة انحبطت أنا انحبطت حرفيا الحماس ما هو بمرة مثل قبل عليكم السلام توقيتك ما شاء الله يعني ذاك وش تلعب اليوم؟ مو بلعب شي أنا أنا كنت سوي ردة فعلي على الكشف حق السيزون الرابع في لعبة Rainbow Six Siege اللي يمكن أنت ما تعرفها أبدا فيا انتهى البث الكشف قصدي كل شي والحين في النهائي حقت البطولة، وذا واللي أنا ما راح أشوفه. يب. توني كنت أقلب هنا على تويتر على ذا أشوف، بس بصراحة يعني ما لقيت شيء. اي صف انت يا ابوي، شخرك في انت اساسا. المهم انا هنا راح انهي البث. توني كنت بنهي البث والله، يعني مو بالعمد. المهم هنا راح ننهي البث وما ادري يعني راح نسوي بث بكرة يمكن شيء ما ادري. فيب بصراحة انحبطت بعد ما كل اللي شفتوني. يلا مرة ثانية لا تسأل أسئلة زي كذا.